Well, all right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Unscripted. Logan is on a personal day. I don't know how he got a date, but he's on a date. Him and his girl doing their thing. Frankie's doing sabbaticals, and everybody else is doing what they do. But have I got a surprise? I got my boy, Pride from Prideful Cake. What's up, Pride?
What's up, my guy? I'm disappointed in Shakur Stevenson, but he handled business, so I'm not mad. Him and Devin Haney, if that happens, I am already excited. I think I wet my pants. I am already excited. How you feeling, Jay?
Man, oh man, oh man. Yeah, hey, if you haven't noticed, my voice is really jacked up. We had a good night painting the town up, and then I did a little bit of stand up. I'll have to share a little bit with you later on. I kind of shared a little bit with Frankie, uh, but it was a good night, man. It was a lot of fun. It was a good night. And now, of course, I was gonna kind of start it off with college football, but I just want to kind of side shift for a second and just kind of talk about this Aaron Judge thing. I was at the bar and I met a Yankees fan at the bar, and we were kind of watching the game a little bit. And he's a big Yankees fan, and I asked him about what he thought about Judge, and he said, "Well, he's trying. He's almost there." And I'm like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but he's got the Triple Crown almost in lock. When he
Well, he
started out,
lost it, actually. He lost it because Xander
exactly,
Bogaerts. Thank God Xander Bogaerts doing his thing. And I'm kind of mad Xander
yes.
Bogaerts wants to do this literally in his contract year when he's about to walk. I love this place so much. I love this place.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. And so he had a 316 average, then he dropped down to 314. He's got the home run side locked up for the Triple Crown. He's got the RBI side pretty much locked up. It's just his batting average that's really holding him back. And that's really going to be his Achilles heel because he's also trying to get the 62 damn home run mark. And I think, Pride, trying to get that 62 home run mark is really screwing him up because of the average. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, and on top of that, and I just have something to say about that. Like, who cares if he gets 62? I mean, I've never in my life have seen like if I didn't know better, I would assume 62 is the record. But no, bro, it's 72. Why are we excited over this? Like, I don't know. That just befuddles me. Like, the most home runs in the season was 72 by Barry Bonds. So he's at what? 60 still? 61? I mean,
he's at 60 right now. He hasn't even gotten the merits yet.
So who cares? Yeah. I mean, don't get it twisted. If you want to say it's a great year, yeah. But like, it's very weird that people are pretending that if he passes Maris, he shatters the record and it's all over. And it's like, nah, bro, he still got to chase Bonds. And I'll be honest, in my opinion, he's not getting nowhere near 70. I think he's capping at 65.
I don't think he gets 70 either. I think he'd be lucky to get 62.
So here's my question for you, Jay. If he's not reaching 72, if he's not breaking that record, why is this so much of a spectacle? Because I feel like
I think the issue is, the Triple Crown is divided by leagues. You can actually have two Triple Crowns in the same season, right? You can have a National League Triple Crown and an American League Triple Crown because it goes by the league.
I'm not even talking about the Triple Crowns. I'm just talking about this home run race question mark that everyone's fascinated with Aaron Judge watching. I'm missing something. He has no shot at getting Bonds. So
hold on now. But here's I'll give you the reason why. There is weight to it, and I'll tell you why. Mm-hmm. When you want to be considered the best in baseball, there have been 12 Triple Crown winners, 12 in the 100-year history, 12 Triple Crown winners. If you can pull off the Triple Crown and then have the most home runs in a single season in the American League, mind you, then he's done something in the 100 years that nobody else has done. To have those two records at the same time, at the same season, it's almost kind of like you need, because, okay, let's say he gets a Triple Crown. Then he's just going to be one of the other He'll be the 13th Triple Crown. Okay, great, nice. You're triple, but there's nothing that separates him from the other 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if he gets the 62 home runs, well, now there's a differential.
The differential
That's
of
the
what,
only
though?
thing I can see getting the home runs would mean anything. But again,
No,
but
I
trying
don't
to
know.
get the home runs is going to screw up his Triple Crown anyway. Because I think he's going to try so hard to get it.
I mean, I don't think so. And the reason why I say that is because, look, Aaron Judge has the same flaw he had coming in, right? If you're a pitcher like a Max Scherzer or a Zach Greinke, someone who can, paint the corners, Aaron Judge cannot hit a slider for his life. If he faces a two-pitch guy that has a slider,
yeah,
Aaron Judge is going to stand there like, what am I supposed to do with this? You know? And it really comes down to, like, how, like, Aaron Judge is a big dude. Like, Jose Altuve can hit a slider because he's short. So when you throw the slider down and away, he's already there. Aaron Judge, the way he stands and everything, the guy is like massive. And it's like, and then on top of that, since he's so massive, he can't crowd the plate. So he's got to almost take like he's like a foot back, like almost outside of the box on the backside, right? Like where his back would be. So it's like those sliders are his Achilles heel. A lot of people say he will he needs to work on that. I believe he never will. He'll never be able to hit a slider consistently. And it's not because he's a bad batter or anything. I just think it's his body. Like when you're a big guy like that and you can't crowd the plate, you're gonna miss. You're not gonna be able to get that slider down and away. It's going to be real tough. Like David Ortiz, he was big, but you don't see him at that far back as you see Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is almost outside the box. Like, it's wild, man. I don't think he gets a Triple Crown because, to your point, he wants that home run bad. And he wants it almost too bad. Where he's kind of going back into his, we got to swing. I think it was a couple weeks ago when he kind of started thinking, oh yeah, I can really get it. He was swinging at the dumbest pitches I've ever seen in my life. And I don't think it's because he's dumb. I just think it reminds me of Steph Curry when he was about to break the 3-point record. Steph was taking threes that he usually wouldn't take.
Yeah.
Like triple teamed, he's like heaving it up type of stuff. And that's what the vibe I'm getting from Aaron Judge. Like he wants to try to get 65.
And I think the Astros, to your point, really exposed that because we all know Aaron Judge struggles with anything, it's low and away or low and in, he struggles against that. And again, that's what a slider hits, to your point. And the Astros, if you go back to before the All-Star break, that series, and then if you go to the All-Star, the double hitter at that, you can really see where he struck out numerous times trying to hit that damn slider, trying to hit that low ball, and he just couldn't do it. Now, I will say this. His chase rate at the beginning of the season started out at about 28, 29%. He got really good at it. He dropped it down to low 18%. But then it seems like all of a sudden, we're trying to get the crown, trying to get the home run. His chase rate now has gone back up because of that. And like you said, that's really what's going to be his Achilles heel.
And I'm glad you said that. I really am glad you said that because that is what is going to ultimately, if I'm Aaron Judge, I would honestly say whatever this home run race y'all want to say it to be, I'm going to ignore it. I'm not going to pay mind to it. And I'm going to focus on contacts. That's it.
Yes. To the point. That's actually a really good segue into the second part of the story or of the upcoming or breaking news, if you will. Pujols, as you know, hit 700. He hit 2 dingers a couple of days ago off the dot, hit 700. And Trout said he had commented on I guess he had talked to Pujols about it. And Pujols basically was saying, like, I never try to hit home runs. I don't. That's not my object. The object is I just try to go up there and just have a really good swing. And if the ball goes, it goes. Well, it's obviously gone 700 times. And I think that's what Aaron Judge has to understand is don't go to the plate looking to hit the home run. just go to the plate looking to have a good swing and make good contact and let everything else just kind of fall into place.
I mean, and to be honest, it's kind of ironic outside of Barry Bonds, not a lot of the great home run hitters, they come and tell you we don't try to hit home runs, it just happens. Right? Like before Albert Pujols, the next closest person was A-Rod. He had like what? He was like what, 3 shorts, something like that. He was on the doorstep, like he was real close. And
4,
he said
I think
the same thing.
Was it 4 or 5 home runs shot?
It's something like that. Like he was close. He was really on that premise, and it's insane because when he goes, oh yeah, I'm not really trying to hit home runs, you know. Like I think Barry Bonds, and it was San Francisco Giant Barry Bonds. Let's throw that out there. It was that Barry Bonds that was like, I'm going 450 dead center, and he kind of have to have that mentality because every night, and this is not hyperbole, he would on a great night would see 2 good pitches. 2 good pitches the entire game. So he would have to crank back and send that thing deep. Outside of Barry Bonds, everyone else was like, hey, I don't go to the game comes to me. And I don't know. I think Aaron Judge does kind of feel a little bit of the pressure, you know? Like, again, a lot of people are putting a lot of stock into this home run thing. I didn't know 62 was more than 72. I didn't know that. I didn't pass math. But a lot of people are putting stock in it to the point now, if you go on Twitter, in the baseball world, it's one of 2 things. It was Albert Pujols getting to 700 and Aaron Judge getting to 61. I mean, okay. Like, and I think he's feeling the pressure. I genuinely believe he's feeling the pressure. And the thing is, we've seen him under pressure. Aaron Judge is not good when you put pressure on this man. He is not good when you got pressure on him. So I really agree. Like, you know what I mean? If y'all really want him to get this home run thing, pretend it doesn't exist. Pretend it doesn't exist. Because if you keep going and putting this pressure on the dude, guess what's gonna happen? Guess what's gonna happen? My guy gonna start swinging the bat like Chris Davis toward the end of his tenure.
Man, hey, no, that's no doubt. Hey, I definitely agree with you on that. I definitely agree with you on that. And again, I like to see history made. So because I hate the Yankees, but I do like to see history made. But I think, like you said, as long as he's going to continuously chase, then I think it's going to not only prevent him possibly of hitting 62 home runs, but it's really, like you said, at the end of the day, it's going to kill him just trying to get the Triple Crown. And really, it's going to hurt his team in the long haul because now he's giving you outs rather than maybe getting some walks and getting on base and giving you the runs that you need in those close games. So it carries a lot of negative weight trying to hit these benchmarks.
And remember, what was the problem for the Yankees? Them chasing the home run ball. That was their problem, right? Now, is it working right now for Aaron Judge? Yeah, it's working for him. It is. It's working for him now. But I don't know, man. It's just me personally. I'm not. I don't know, man. I'm just not really doing this thing where I'm hoping, you know, like if I'm gonna pretend to be a Yankees fan for a minute, let's say he gets like 65. Are you really gonna celebrate that? Now again, this is coming, you know, this is coming from a Red Sox fan. So take what I say with a grain of salt, a grain of sand or salt, whatever the saying is, who cares? But when it comes to the entire home run thing, I don't understand the hype on it. I really don't. And maybe if someone could give me a little explanation, a little context, perhaps I'll run with it. Perhaps. But like I said, I'm doing the math.
Okay.
Mathematically,
Over there.
you know.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you, bro. Can you hear us? All right. I guess he's still figuring stuff out, but over to Albert Pujols because it's time for me to eat a little bit of crow while we wait for Jay to get situated here. I did not think
Right,
Albert
can you hear
Pujols
me?
would get it. Yeah, I hear you. Can you hear me? All right. But I did not think Albert Pujols would be able. I did not think Albert Pujols would get to his illustrious 700 home run.
That's one, two.
You hear me, Jay? All right. Well, he figures it out. I did not think Albert Pujols would be able to get to number 700, but let me explain why. Let me explain why before people get mad at me. I didn't think he was going to get it only because, Jay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm sorry. My computer took a left turn. I'm back.
Good,
Again, continue mission.
You're good. No, I just got to eat a little bit of crow because I didn't think Albert Pujols would get to 700. So I got to eat crow. I just want to clarify my thoughts on why. It's not because I think he's bad. I just didn't think he was going to get enough opportunities to do it. It is the best way for him to get his home run because ironically, he got his home run on the team that revitalized his career. Isn't that kind of ironic? He got it against the Dodgers, who, if we're going to be honest, the Dodgers kind of picked him up back when he was down. So it's kind of a poetic ending to it. What a way to go out for Albert Pujols, and I'm glad he got 700. I'm just glad he got 700. Hats off to him.
I thought it was interesting, like you said, that he got it against the Dodgers, the team that he left. I mean, they're probably thinking, "Come on, Al, did you have to do it against us?"
I saw a stat. They said the stat that I saw that he got his 700 home run against the Dodgers, the same team he got his 100th home run on. It was something like that, where it was like a nice round number, and both of them were on the Dodgers. And what a time to be alive, man! What a time indeed.
Oh, it's absolutely a time to be alive. And again, I wish Pujols all the great, because I know he's going to retire. He's going to go in as a legend. I kind of wonder. We still got about 14 more games in this season. How much closer can he get to Ruth? Because Ruth would be the next on the list that he's behind. So I wonder how close he can get to Ruth.
Is it Ruth at like 714? 15?
Yeah, I think it said it's 714 or 715. I want to say it's 715. And then Aaron's like 755.
So Hank Aaron is 755, Babe Ruth is 714.
Yeah. So he's got 14 more to go if he wants a tie.
No, I don't think he gets that. I think 705 to 707 is would be a great place to end for him around there. Where
I mean, it's incredible. I mean, he's only the fourth person to ever even get into that club. I mean, and God knows who'll be the next. Like, who do you think? Is there anybody around right now that you think can ever get to that level? I know it's a hard thing to predict.
I mean, not really. I don't, because there's really no home run specialist left. Like, the next active player on the list is Miguel Cabrera, and he's at 27th with 506. So he's the next active player. After him is Nelson Cruz at 39.
And yeah, he's not going to get it.
And
Nelson
then then the next young-ish player is Giancarlo Stanton at 79. He's 79th with, it was 375. So it's like, I don't know, because a lot of the younger guys aren't even at 300 yet. Like Freddie Freeman, even though he's not that young, he's not at 300 yet, right? Anthony Rizzo isn't at 300 yet. JD Martinez, and again, he's not even that younger. You can say he's kind of exiting his prime. He's not even at 300 yet. So it's like a lot of the younger guys, like, they're not there. And on top of that, most of these young guys, I mean, think about it. Of
Right.
this newer generation coming in, who's a home run specialist? None of them.
I get it. Yeah.
They're all kind of like a jack of all trades, where like even Vladdy, even though he's not that fast, can he hit a home run? Yeah. But he can still go on the base pads too. He doesn't limit himself to just be a home run specialist. So because of that, I think it's going to be a long, long, long time. Forget 700. It's going to be a long time before we see anyone even hit 600 for us to celebrate. Because like I said, the next closest active person is Miguel Cabrera, and he's at 506.
Yeah. And Miggy's almost on the way out too. He's hanging on by a thread. Let's be honest.
By a thread.
I mean, he's contemplating even coming back next year. I mean,
right.
And I think he said he's gonna come back. But again, if you're like that, or if you had that mode, I mean, you're just kind of
right.
Yeah, you're on your way out.
Yeah,
and with 200 home runs to go, that's
no.
Real quick, we're gonna jump into some college football. Man, there was some almost damn near upsets. I really thought, right? I swear to God, I thought that Wake Forest was going to take out Clemson. Like, yes. I really thought it was going to happen.
I did as well. I don't know if I've said it here yet at all, but DJ, I call him, I know it's ukulele, but I call him ukulele because he might as well be playing a ukulele because he's just not good at football. Like, he's only had 2 good games in his entire career. That was this game, which I hats off to him. He balled out. And that game he came in against Notre Dame. Ever since then, this kid has been the definition of mediocrity. If I were to explain how I perform during coitus, I perform like DJ ukulele. Because I'll have 2 times where I'm a stud, and then the rest, I'm finishing before I can get my underwear off. It's insane, but people just want to relish in those 2 great games he had, not realizing he's got more under his belt. People forget just last week, after the horrible performance he had, people were looking to the bench. So all you DJ fans, pump the brakes and don't say, oh yeah, look what he did. Because even though this was a phenomenal game from him, over 300 yards, I think he had over 400 total yards with 5 touchdowns, no picks, hell of a game. But guess what? A broken clock is still right twice a day. And your guy has only had 2 great performances his entire career. And before anyone says, oh, you don't have to be great, unfortunately, he doesn't have anything average because he's mediocre. This kid is Tim Tebow. If he's not giving you top tier performances like Tebow used to do in Florida, if he's not giving you that, he's giving you boo-boo in the booty type of performances. So, and on top of that, Clemson, no disrespect, but their defense also has to step up. Because I understand Wake Forest was ranked, but you cannot come out with a straight face and let them drop 45 on you. They made Sam Hartman look like he should go in the first round. This kid is better than Spencer Rattler. This kid is better than Bryce Young. Give him the Heisman. That's how they made this kid look. Clemson, they are 4-0 by the grace of God. And I live in South Carolina.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I live in South Carolina, and Clemson fans know we are 4-0. We should not be here. Realistically, this is a 2-2 team. Potentially 1-3. They are 4-0 by the grace of God.
Yeah,
DJ
I agree.
is going to fall flat on his face next week, and I can't wait to hear the excuses. But it was real close, very close. Mind you, I watched it. It was hilarious. I'm not even going to lie.
But, they're not the only top 5 team to struggle and damn near lose. Now you got to look at number 4, Michigan against Maryland. They got out 34-27, but I mean, they only got out by possession. So, and Maryland's not even ranked. So now I'm thinking like,
yeah,
really is, not either you got Georgia, Bama, Ohio that still look pretty strong in the games that they're playing. But Michigan, like I said, number 4, Michigan, like we just saw, number 5, Clemson, they just don't look as strong. And so
yeah.
now we're talking about what, expanding to 12 teams? I mean, honestly, I get expanding to 12 teams. It's going to be a money-making generator for the college football. But all it's really going to be is a bunch of watered-down crap until we get to the top 3. You know what I mean?
And I was talking to Craig James about this when they said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do it." Him and I had the same thought. Just put it to 8.
Yeah, I'm good with 8.
Because 8 is a perfect number, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And you know what I mean? You get more talent, and then even though they're the bottom tier, like the 6 to 8, sure, they're bottom tier. You could still make a legitimate argument that they deserve to be in. You could make that argument that they deserve to be in. And now it doesn't feel dragged out rather than 12. Look, I don't want to see Notre Dame in the playoffs, but guess what's going to happen when it goes to 12? Notre Dame is going to go 9 and like they're going to go over. They're going to be the first team in NCAA history to not win a game and still be in the playoffs because they're Notre Dame and we got to have them in there, So like 12 is ridiculous. And that's like a lot of people who watch college football. That's the consensus. 12 is ridiculous. Just do 8 and we're good with that. They'll learn eventually because in 2 years after that rule happens and everyone boos them, they're going to go, well, we told you we wanted to do 8. And then the committee's going to do their whole little song and dance of how great they are. So, but yeah, man, dude, bro.
So my next game that I think is kind of interesting, and poor Rob Strike's not here to take the ass licking, but, when we look at the U, when they make the big U with their hands, all I can think of is uncharacteristically bad. Just, horrible. Middle Tennessee comes in and just makes you look like, just like, seriously, if you're a Miami fan, you had to just throw up in your mouth and turn the game off at halftime when I think it was 24-10 or something.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, it was. It was brutal. I think Tennessee scored like, what was it, 17 points in the first quarter?
Yeah, it was. They just came out and put an A-whooping on them right off the gate.
Yeah, right off the gate. Chase Cunningham. Remember what I said about Hartman? Yeah. Insert Chase Cunningham, who had over 400 yards. I'm like, what in the world? I'm like, what is this? Dude, and it's insane because Miami was 25th.
Right.
It's going to be interesting.
They're
going to get knocked out.
Crazy.
Does Middle Tennessee take that 25th spot is the question.
Yeah. And that is the question.
Because obviously, again, Miami was Miami, Florida.
Oh, there's no way Miami's staying in the rankings. They're definitely going to go to unranked at this point.
Right. You're going to go unranked. Definitely 110%. But then again, Kentucky right now, they're playing Northern Illinois, and it's tied up right now. If Northern Illinois wins, what do you do with them?
Well, I'd probably go with at that point. I'd probably go with probably or Northern Illinois. If they beat Kentucky, I'm putting them in.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, how high do you put them in? Like, do you put them at 25? You kind of got to look at Kentucky and go, you're out of luck, or Middle Tennessee.
I don't know.
See,
because when Florida beat it was number 7 Utah and they were unranked, they slid right into 12.
Oh, bro, the committee shot them up there. The committee shot them up there. I don't know if you were around, but they ended up, I forgot who they played next week. They played another ranked opponent the week after. And I was like, I hope and pray they win. So we can so the committee will just like let's just burn the rankings down and let's throw Florida up more. Let's have a top 3, bro. I was with it. I was with it for a while, and then they lost. So I was like, damn, that sucks. But for a minute, I was like, yo, the committee better start stuttering for some answers here in a minute. But yeah,
and exactly. And what I think is interesting is if you look at what's going on right now, too, A&M at 23 is 1 point shy right now. It's 14-13.
Yep.
And they're getting ready to go to half over number 10, Arkansas. So if they pull that off, you got to imagine they jump at least. They should get close to 10. Texas A&M should. I think maybe you put Northern Illinois in. If they beat Kentucky, then maybe you put that's number 8 Kentucky too, man. I think maybe you put Northern Illinois at like 12. Maybe put A&M at like you can do 11 or 13. I don't know, somewhere in that neighborhood. What do you think?
So here's what I would do. I would put, because you listen, we learned our lesson from Florida. Okay, we learned our lesson. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. They beat a ranked team, and we sent them to the moon, and they've been like horrible since. Right. So this is what I would do. You know who else lost that was ranked? Who was? Do you know what other ranked team lost to an unranked team? Texas, number 22.
True.
Texas.
Oh,
they lost
to Texas Tech today.
So guess what I would do? I give Northern Illinois 100%. So them in Miami, in my opinion, are out because you lost. You took it out, right? With them out, guess what I do now? I slide Northern Illinois at 22. That way they're up enough. And then it was Middle Tennessee. We'll put Middle Tennessee at 25.
But then so what do you do? So what do you do with A&M if they pull off the win today against Arkansas? Where would you put A&M at? And where would you put Arkansas? How far do they slide down?
I'll tell you right now. Because I will tell you that because there's gonna be obviously, some movement. So right now, as of right now, A&M. So you want to say let's give Texas A&M the win. What do I do with them in Arkansas, right?
Right. Well, like if they were to pull off the win against Arkansas, where do those teams do they just flip spots or
so
what do you do with them?
So I would probably put Arkansas between 14 and 16.
Okay.
It'd be between 14 and 16. Oregon did not, in my opinion, did not impress me at all when they played against Washington State. If anything, that in my opinion, you can make an argument that was probably a detriment because it was ironic. Bo Nix had a great game, yet it always felt like you couldn't trust this kid. Maybe it's just me, but I would drop Arkansas to around there. And then A&M, I would probably throw A&M right outside 15. So I would do 17, 18 for A&M. That's assuming A&M can pull it off.
Right. No, absolutely. Well, yeah,
absolutely. That's kind of what we're going by,
And let's be honest, the only reason Texas got into the rankings was because of that really good performance against Bama. I think, that they had to take that into consideration because they were 2-1. They had to look at that Bama, and that's the reason why they got him in there.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep. And again, you look at the Oregon and Washington State game, and that's only by 3. So I wonder if Washington State could keep winning, and maybe another ranked team gets out, if they could ever get back into the rank, or they could get into the rankings.
Can I say one thing real quick?
Yeah.
I told everyone before USC is gonna be a problem.
Right.
I was screaming USC was gonna be a problem. No one wanted to believe me. Nobody wanted to listen. Lo and behold, I'm not even a Trojan fan, but guess what? I'm going to Trojan condoms. That's what I'm doing now. Me and Lincoln Riley, bro. Me and Lincoln Riley, we taking over, bro. Me and Lincoln Riley finna pull a Ime Udoka. That's what we finna do.
Maybe if you're lucky, if you're lucky, you can get Lincoln Riley to autograph and have one for your collection. The autograph card that might go at really nice at the auction house one day. You never know.
Auction house, I'm telling you, bro. I'm keeping it all to myself.
Amen. Let's talk real quick. I want to talk about the Bills real quick. No, actually, no. Hold off on the Bills because that's going to be in the episode. We'll hold off on that real quick. Favre. Let's talk about Favre real quick, man. Look, I find it interesting. You know, he's some text messages have now resurfaced within the last day or so. At first, Favre was basically saying, "No, I had no idea about this. I didn't know where the funds were coming from. This, that, and the other." And I said long before that, I said, of course he knew where the funds were coming from because the woman that he was texting was head of the committee that appropriates those kind of funds. So how does he not know? He's not an idiot. Come on. Well, now you see these messages coming out where Favre is telling the governor to allocate this $6 million to the University of Southern Mississippi for this volleyball stadium. And the governor is clearly telling him that it could be considered an illegal use of funds. And Favre is basically coming back at him like, you know what? I don't care. Give me the damn money. Come on, Brett. Come on. My theory is this, Pride, this is just me. But if you're misappropriating government or federal funds, state funds, wherever, however you want to term it, the governor should go to jail. Miss New, the lady that was in charge of the funds, should go to jail. And Brett Favre should go to jail. The sentence, I'll leave that up to them. But they need to do a little bit of time. What's your thoughts on that, Prime?
I just think it's adorable how quiet this whole thing is going. Remember a few years ago when Jameis Winston stole about $32 worth of crab legs?
Yes.
Do you remember the vitriol, the hatred, the anger, the disrespect, borderline slander he was going through?
Yeah, I do.
For a little under $35.
What about the Ball brother? I forget which one it was. That was Lonzo. The Ball brother that stole
Jello.
Yeah.
Jello.
Remember that?
Jello.
And they made a big thing about that too. And I'm sure that probably wasn't worth a whole lot of damn money, whatever it was he took. So
and here's the thing. So you get those two things. This man requested $1.8 to $2 million. Let this sink in. Let that sink in. Okay. And by the way, where did the money come from? Like, where did it come from? It came from a federal fund that came from a grant that goes to children and families that have low income.
Yeah. And Favre knew it. The governor is telling him, Favre, this is illegal. You can't do this.
This is the exact quote. This is the exact quote. Okay. This is how it's adorable to me, right? This is what he says. Ready? So he goes, Bret Hart. This is the Bret Hart. Brett Favre. This is the text he says. We obviously need your help big time, and time is working against us. And we feel that your name is the perfect choice for this facility, and we are not taking no for an answer. You are a Southern Miss alumni, and folks need to know you are also a supporter of the university. This man needs to be a politician with how much BS is coming out of his mouth. This is what the governor said. Is this what the governor said? Yes. Yes. So this is what he said. As you know, IHL, which is Mississippi's higher educational system, has a process of how we request and get approval for projects. And what he's doing is, and when we're saying he, they're referring to Brett Favre, what he is doing is outside of those guidelines. I will see for the umpteenth time if we can get him to stand down. The bottom line is he personally guaranteed the project, and on his word and handshake we proceeded. It's time for him to pay up. The quote goes on and says, maybe he wants the state to pay off his promises. Like all of us, I like Brett. He is a legend, but he has tried, or he has to understand what pledge means. I've tried hard many times to explain to him. And then this is kind of the quote about the law thing.
Yeah.
We are going to get there. This was a great meeting, but we have to follow the law. I am too old for federal prison.
Hey, I didn't know you. I didn't know that you even want to think about going to federal prison. Okay.
And do you want to know why he said that? Because, bro, like, again, Brett, and again, this is not the first time that Brett Favre has done something like this. Okay,
Right.
Brett Favre, can I curse?
No, I sure don't get too crazy with it, but okay.
Nah, I won't go crazy. But Brett Favre,
I know it's hard, but I know how we all feel about it.
Yeah, no. But Bret Hart is a piece of shit.
That's fine. Yeah.
He was born that way. He's living that way, and he will die that way. That's just the reality of the situation. He's not a good person. He's garbage. He's filth. Right. Like, he's the type of dude that everyone spits on when he walks in a room. That's the type of person he is. Yeah. But my personal problem with this entire thing, the anger I have, is nobody wants to talk about it because they want to coddle Brett Favre like he's this almighty God when this is the same dude who got beat up in his locker room.
Yeah.
This man got no one wants to. This man got Geno Smith before being Geno Smith was a thing. Like, what are we doing?
No, but it's true though, man. Look, and the crazy thing about it is, for some reason, up in Green Bay, he's like God up there. So much so that they named a damn street after him. But this is a dude that's taking money out of the mouths of children and families who don't have squat to piss in, so his damn daughter can play volleyball in a stadium.
And disrespectfully, fuck her. Disrespectfully.
Yeah, I know. Oh, it's all good.
I don't care. Congratulations, you play volleyball. Ooh, woo. Like, no, bitch, go get a job. Pay for yourself. Like everybody else. Maybe if
like everybody else.
I spend his money on drugs and women, maybe he would have had some to send his daughter to school.
And the interesting thing about this, the interesting thing about the news media is we're so hyped up on crucifying Udaka for having maybe a little bit of, whatevs, that we totally don't care about Brett Favre stealing money from children and poor families trying to do the right things. I mean, come on. What are we doing? We'll get more into the Udaka thing in a minute. But it's just, I don't understand why we're so fixated on that. And we're not fixated on this. I don't understand that.
And this is the part that really bothers me. Like, close your eyes. Imagine if it was imagine if Donovan McNabb did this. Oh man. If it was Donovan McNabb, imagine the slander he would have went through. Oh my God.
Bro, look, you know what happened because we've already listen, folks.
I just want to say one thing, man. Colin Kaepernick gets blackballed for this.
That's exactly what I was going. And look, I don't agree with the whole kneeling thing, but at the same time, it's a free country. That's what we fight for. Do what you feel. But again, I would much rather or be much more sympathetic to Kaepernick than I would be to what Brett Favre is doing. I mean, come
on. On top of that, and Jay, Brett Favre still had a job.
Yeah.
So it's not like Brett Favre was still bringing in money. He's still doing sponsorships.
Matter of fact, Pride,
a radio show in Milwaukee.
Pride, watch this. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Art cheated on his wife while he was playing. They didn't make nothing about that, but Udaka goes out there and does a little something, and we're all having a heyday.
That's insane, bro.
I'm just saying, this is America's sweetheart.
And I don't get why he's America's sweetheart, bro.
I don't either. And I would love to know why, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, in this world, it seems like. Mickey Delaney says, well, if you kick Favre out of the NFL, then you need to kick everyone out of baseball that was on the Houston. Shut up. And Will Houston was taking money for fans, and a player knew there were. All right, I don't know why I should have read that before I crap up there. But if you're trying to compare the cheap scandal of Houston trash cans to Brett Favre stealing money from children, Mickey Delaney, in all due disrespect, shut your mouth.
Yeah, I was about to say, I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying because they are two wrongs. But this is like trying to compare a a ticket for speeding to armed robbery. Like, yeah, sure, they're both crimes, but they're all completely different spectrums, bro. Like, they're a completely different spectrum. So, like, yeah, the Astros cheated, sure, but they didn't steal money from anyone. They didn't steal the money, right? The fans paid to see them, so they didn't steal the money. Brett Favre stole from people who don't know how they're gonna make their rent payment.
Yeah,
he stole it from single moms who got to work 2 jobs to make ends meet.
What a time to be alive. All right, folks. Hey, we're gonna jump into some of the other topics. If I got loaded right, it's basically come on, Jay. Why is this not working? There we go. Okay. Sean Payton is talking about or has said that he would come back to the NFL and coach in 2023 if the right situation presented itself. And I guess what a right situation looks like to him is if he can find the right ownership and the right front office that he can develop his culture in, he would be interested and would possibly come back. And if he does that, Pride, he does got to give, or the team that would take him in would have to compensate New Orleans for him because he still has 2 years left on his contract. So my question to you is, Pride, based on the criteria of right ownership, right front office, what team do you see that he would possibly go to in 23?
I think there's a few. So first of all, I think the 2 ones that honestly could potentially be a thing, the Patriots. If Bill Belichick were to step down, that's an organization that already has discipline instilled in it. So Sean Payton can just kind of step in and basically continue that trend. For the Chiefs is another place. Andy Reid has basically been saying, hey, look, I ain't finna be here forever.
Right.
And if he leaves and Eric Bieniemy ends up taking another job, that would be an opening for Sean Payton. If Sean Payton wants to challenge himself and he wants to go to a situation where he kind of wants to be like, you know what? They have something, but I need to revamp the entire system and how everything flows to work. The Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys haven't had a coach that they've been proud of in a long time. And they always say it's because the coach can't get the best out of the players. Sean Payton in Dallas, if Sean Payton can't unlock their stuff, then you just got to blow it up. And you just got to move on from that.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you.
Another one, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bruce Arians isn't going to come back. And Todd Bowles isn't going to be the solution forever. You can kind of bring him back to be the defensive coordinator and have Sean Payton be the head coach. But the thing is for the right situation, that's really where it becomes tricky. Because in order for that to happen, other dominoes need to fall in place for Sean Payton to be able to come out. Because they need to have a quality team, at least enough quality in his eyes, that makes him want to come out of retirement. They need to have that. They need to have something of a structure, or at least give him the power to create that structure. And the biggest thing of all that no one's really talking about, salary cap.
Yeah.
That's why he left the Saints. He didn't leave the Saints because he was too old. He didn't leave the Saints because he left the Saints because all this money, this salary cap issue, I don't want to deal with that. That's why he left. So it's a situation where, like, in the right situation, it's tough because a lot of the places that were open, they filled them up like that. It was Jacksonville, the Buccaneers was it for a while, the Giants. I mean, outside of them, the Dolphins before they went and got what's this kid's name? Daniels. Is it Mike Daniels? Sound like that.
Mike McDaniels.
I want to say that.
You know about the coach for Dolphins or?
Yeah, for the Dolphins. I want to
Yeah,
say,
it was
yeah,
Josh
Mike
McDaniel.
McDaniel. Yeah, Mike
It was Mike
McDaniel.
McDaniel. So
Yeah, but
yeah.
yeah, like, you know, a lot of them, and again, with the Raiders, the Broncos, a lot of them was really already taken up. So I mean, maybe the Broncos, because you know they got Nathaniel Hackett for Aaron Rodgers, since they didn't get Aaron Rodgers. I guess he's kind of expendable. So maybe him, but again, it's a situation where it's rough to kind of see where, because like I said, Jay, a lot of dominoes got to fall in place, and I don't see any team in the foreseeable future having all those dominoes knocked down for Sean Payton to come back.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I like the Dallas idea because he does have ties to Dallas. I don't know what Dallas is not going anywhere this year. Honestly, I think we all know that. And I think I would hope that Jerry will finally say, you know what, Mike McCarthy, it was a good ride. We gave him a shot. See you later. And I hope that he would have a conversation with Sean, you know, about coming to Dallas. But Sean's going to probably tell him, look, Jerry, I'll come to Dallas. I'll sort your mess out, but you're going to have to give me control of doing what I need to do. And I don't know if Jerry's going to let go of that control. You know, that's the only downside to Dallas is, will Jerry, you know, give him the control that he needs to win? And I don't think Jerry's going to do that.
I mean, I think it's a possibility, because if Jerry Jones wants Sean Payton that bad, he'll make an exception. I think he'll make an exception.
I felt like he made it once with Jimmy Johnson at the initial beginning of his tenure. He let Jimmy do what Jimmy did. And of course, Jimmy then pulls off probably the best trade ever in France. Well, not even France. I think probably the best trade in NFL history. I mean, you saw what he generated.
Up there. It's definitely
with Herschel Walsh. You saw what he generated. I mean, it was stupid.
That's I don't care what anyone says. If you don't think it's the greatest, that's fine. It has to be in there without a shadow of a doubt because of how much it was. And I think what Jerry Jones will do is go to Sean Payton. This is what I would do if I was Jerry Jones. I give you 6 weeks. You have full control. If you cannot make me feel like I have Jimmy Johnson back here, you're taking your talents elsewhere.
Yeah.
And
I think that's fair enough. I think that's fair enough. Give him 6 weeks. Give him six. Give him a good amount of time to really show you.
Right, where that way,
oh my God,
think about it, because that way he himself can poke and prod and be like, all right, look, Jerry, I get it. You love Zeke, but we could trade Zeke to get a couple of backs here that we can get one of them to be the Thunder. We still got Zeke Pollard to be the Lightning, and we could probably package him to get a couple picks and two kind of backs to do a running back by committee thing. Try to figure something out where we can get another wide receiver in here, sharpen up. I think if anybody can fix the Dallas Cowboys that's willing to, I think it'd be Sean Payton.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
But you made a great point. Jerry's gonna have to step off for a bit. And I think and again, he didn't want to step off when it came to Jimmy Johnson. That's kind of why him and Jimmy Johnson fell out, because Jerry Jones eventually got sick of it and he wanted to keep meddling and poking and prodding and getting back in it. And Jimmy Johnson is like, dog, you gave me the chance. I'm running with it. We're champions. This is a dynasty. What are you doing? So, man, if I'm Jimmy Johnson, if I'm Jerry Jones, I give him about 6 weeks. Give him 6 weeks.
I gotta commend you, Pride. I gotta commend you. You didn't go crazy. I thought when I put up that Damian comment and the craziness of him saying that Sean should go to the Patriots when they already have arguably the best football coach ever. I'm surprised you didn't say anything, but I'm going to say it.
Because here's the thing. For me, I could see it, but the only stipulation I have with that, Bill Belichick needs to basically leave on his own terms.
Yeah.
Right, like, because Bill Belichick does not strike me as a guy who will stay long past his prime. Like, if he can't coach anymore, if he can't, commandeer the respect, he'll say whatever and leave. So if it's situations like that, sure. No disrespect to Sean Payton, but I am not. If you ask me to pick between Bill Belichick and Sean Payton, I'm picking Bill Belichick 9 times out of 1. 110%. No
I get it.
disrespect to Sean Payton,
My
So
own thing with Bill this year, and I don't know how you feel about it, but I've said this before. I just feel like the whole situation with the offensive coordinator and calling plays, I just don't feel like that's working for this team. I feel like he needs an official, coordinator to actually run the offensive side of the ball. Clearly, he's going to be the overseer, but I think he needs a designated guy with coordinator experience or offense-minded experience to really run that side of the operation. You know what I mean?
no, I mean I get it. I look, I'm not gonna question Bill Belichick because who am I to question him? But
Right.
I do get the concerns because again, the person with the most experience calling our offense is a defensive coordinator, Matt Patricia.
Yeah.
Again, I will never doubt Bill Belichick. Okay, the last time, I'm not doing that. But for people outside of
Josh,
the Patriot, go ahead.
yeah. I wonder. We've said a million times. It's been thrown around at least a billion times. Who made who, Bill or Tom? We've said it, and it's crazy. But I always kind of wondered, where does Josh McDaniels' offensive coordinating kind of fall into the who made what type of thing? You know what I mean? Because he was obviously when Josh is there, it's flowing nice. The development's there, everything's looking good. You saw they went to the playoffs last year. On Mac Jones's first year up? I really kind of felt like I feel like Josh McDaniels didn't get enough credit for what he brought to that Patriots organization.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, do I think that Josh McDaniel is a good offensive coordinator? Definitely. I definitely do think. However, when you have a guy like Tom Brady who runs the offense by himself, how many times has Josh McDaniel tried to call players and Tom Brady literally ignores him? And then on that play that he called the exact opposite from Josh McDaniels, throws a touchdown. And then Josh McDaniels just kind of has to stand there and go, So to be honest, for that dynasty, I don't give Josh McDaniels really any credit, not because he's bad, but because by the time that he really came around and started being that dude, Tom was already Tom. Like Tom was already molded, at least in terms of his IQ, as the guy to take over the offense.
Right.
So when Tom left, then yes, now Josh McDaniel was, now he needed to be used more because now we have a kid in Mac Jones who really is new, But to answer your question about who made who, Bill or Tom, I will say this. I am in the minority. I think Tom Brady made Bill Belichick, and I think Bill Belichick made Tom Brady.
They were just a beautiful match.
I think it was a beautiful, beautiful, perfect match where each person benefited from the other.
Oh yeah, I felt like you said, Bill had the IQ to coach, and
Yes.
Tom had the IQ to play,
Yes.
and both of their competitive drives just was incredible. And I think that's why you saw what you saw in those 6 rings, because like you said, man, it was a match made in heaven that one. It was crazy. It's almost like they were soulmates to each other. It was insane.
Yeah, they were made for each other. So yeah, I give it to them 50-50.
See if I can get this. There we go. Kind of talk of what we were talking about a minute ago. I was going to kind of expand a little bit on Jones. Jerry Jones is basically saying that, he welcomes a controversy between Cooper Rush, Dak Prescott, to the point where he says, look, I want a controversy. And I get what he's saying, because if there's a controversy, then that means Cooper Rush is winning, and that's always a good thing. So I get what he's saying. Mike McCarthy said, hey, when Dak comes back, he's going to be the starter, no questions asked. I wonder if Jerry will put his 2 cents in there and tell him, hey, I don't think so. The weird thing about it is you saw when Tony Romo got hurt and Dak took over, he never relinquished the reins, and then Tony went on to retire and become an analyst. I just wonder, I don't think it's going to happen, but could Cooper Rush, if he continues to play well, could he do the same thing? Because one thing I do know about Cooper is that every time he started for the Cowboys, which is only 2 times, but the 2 times that he has started, he came away with wins. So, Pride, what do you think about this situation?
So honestly, I think, Jerry Jones loves a controversy, but I don't think it's a controversy, you know, like you said about if you're winning, that means you got to, I don't think it's that. I think Jerry Jones is looking at it from an equal perspective. He welcomes all controversy. He wishes he was Robert Kraft when he got caught because that's more attention for him.
That's true.
Jerry Jones is the type of dude to go out and just literally disagree with everyone just for the intention. Jerry Jones believes the earth is flat. But not because he's dumb, but because he knows it's going to get you mad and give him more attention.
True.
So he'll come out and just go, "Oh, it's flat, you son of a bitch."
Wait, hold on. Wait. Pride, hold on. Pride. You know what? I just had an epiphany when you said that. It's almost like Jerry is Pride, and Pride is Jerry.
You have never seen me and Jerry Jones at the same place at the same time. So what does that tell you?
I'm just saying, hey, y'all got some very similar characteristics. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna leave it at that, man. Fecal as I born.
But yeah, like, look, and I get why he's saying that, because to your point, the last time there was this controversy, like you said, it was Dak and Romo, and it happened, and they ended up running with Dak, and like you said, Tony Romo ended up retiring, and all that stuff. Here is where I think this situation is a little different. Dak is young, or younger. He's younger than what Romo was. I don't think Dak's. Let me rephrase this. Do I think his job is in jeopardy? No.
Right.
But I do think his year is. I do think there's a legitimate chance that if Cooper Rush can win the next 3 games, and then you hear rumblings of Dak can come back, Jerry Jones will go, "Hey, kid, remember last time we rode your hot hand? Yeah, ain't karma a bitch, huh? I'm going to ride the hot hand here." You know what I mean? Like, we'll go around, So,
I mean, but honestly, I mean, you got to imagine, how do you just take a guy out if he's winning you games? How do you take that out? And let's be honest, how many times have we seen Dak go to the playoffs and we just come away empty-handed? How many times Romo go and we come away empty-handed? Yeah. I mean, I'm okay with giving Cooper Rush. If he's winning, I'm okay letting Cooper Rush go as long as he possibly can, because maybe, just maybe, he can do something that the other 2 predecessors didn't do. You know what I mean?
And on top of that, here's another thing. This is just kind of a situation where we've seen it outside of the Dallas Cowboys. Remember, before my guy Teddy Bridgewater ended up being a backup for the Dolphins, he was almost the franchise quarterback for the Vikings. He got hurt, and they put in Case Keenum.
I remember Case Keenum.
When Teddy Bridgewater got healthy, they were like, "Yeah, we like Teddy more, but we're riding the hot hand." So it's like you know what I mean? Like, we have seen, we've seen this before.
Right.
So for me, it's a situation, and here's the wild part. Teddy Bridgewater loses the job to Case Keenum. And I think that year was the Minneapolis Miracle when they played the Saints, and Case Keenum picked Stephon Diggs. And I can't remember who it was, but I think it was a safety came and tried to, instead of making a play for the ball, try to tackle Stephon Diggs, missed it, ended up bumping into Marshawn Lattimore and gave Stephon Diggs the entire thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it's like, we have seen a quarterback who is not better than the original starter just start winning games and they get left in.
Well, and again, look, go back to the beginning of the Patriots, evolution. You had Bledsoe. Yeah, Bledsoe was the quarterback. He goes down. Brady comes in. who
Yep.
nobody knows I didn't know anything about Brady when he first came in. All I knew about Brady is he didn't do well at the combine, but I didn't know anything about him. And then Brady comes in, and oh my God, it's just like the seas parted waves, and here come the Patriots.
And remember, back when, when Tom Brady was sitting on the bench, people forget when he came out of Michigan, he was splitting carries. So it's not like he was their full-time starter. He was splitting carries. So it's this thing where, like, it's buck wild, man. But I will tell you, when it comes to this, the Jerry Jones thing, okay, yeah, he loves controversy. He does. But you know what he doesn't love? He's not going to love Dak Prescott being injured and him still having to shell out that money.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So this is also another thing for his ego. Yeah, is he saying that? Sure, but he's his excitement comes from a lot of things, right? Like attention that he gets, but also it's him hiding the fact. Like, you seen that meme when the guy's crying? It's like the cartoon meme when his face is crying, and he's got the mask over his face that's smiling. That's Jerry Jones, because he's still writing those checks. Dak Prescott is still cashing it, bro.
Oh yeah.
And Jay, let me ask you a question. Are you starting to get worried about Dak Prescott's health? Because these are two very serious injuries that's happened within 2 years of each other.
The ankle really worried me a lot because of the severity of the ankle, the way it was. That really kind of worried me. The thumb worried me, but not so much. And I say that because if it was truly, I guess, really that bad, they're not talking about him trying to come back October 2nd. So the thumb, the only thing with the thumb that they're worried about is grip strength, and that's really about it. Can he grip the ball, well enough with that thumb? Because the last time I checked, he still had the stitches in. So I don't know if he's going to make that October 2nd date or not. If I was a betting man, I'd probably say no. I think that it would probably still be Cooper Rush, and especially if Cooper Rush is still winning. And I don't think they have to rush that back. If Cooper's winning, let him rest. Let him heal. Let him do what he's got to do. Don't rush him back if you don't need to. I think that would be the worst thing they could possibly do. And I'll say this. With Cooper Rush, they got to play New York. That's who they play this week. Then they got the Washington Commanders next week. Two teams that the Cowboys should be able to beat, honestly. They should be able to beat them. If you can beat the Bengals, you should be able to beat these two guys. And then you got to go, because they got to go to New York this week, and then they got the home game against Washington next week, the 2nd. The game that worries me is after that, because that's when you got the Rams and you got the Eagles back to back. And they're both away games. So that from the test for Cooper Rush is this. If they don't bring Dak back within, if they wait 8 weeks to bring it back, or 6 weeks, then now we're looking at he could be going up against the Rams or the Eagles. And I got to be honest with you, I don't expect him to. If he pulls off a win, if he can split that series, Rams, Eagles, win either one of those two games or both. But if he can win one out of those two, I'm riding Cooper the rest of the season. I'm hell with that, because I feel like those are
go that far.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like those are two strong competitions.
I'll tell you this: if he can beat the Giants, Commanders, if he goes 4-0, then yes, because you've beaten of the 4 teams, 3 are in your division. So you're saying, like I said, I don't think Dallas is winning of the division. But if you're Dallas, you're like, we're still here. We're here to compete. We just beat, the 3 other teams in our division, and you beat the Rams. Then yes, I would be under your I would be with you. I would say yes, we're riding Cooper Rush and all that stuff. I would be with you there. But splitting it, like just going 1-1 against the Rams and the Eagles, I wouldn't, because think about it. If you lose to the Rams, then you have no confidence in yourself, right? Because
Right.
they're the Super Bowl team, and last 2 weeks they haven't been looking good. So perhaps they might look even worse. But if you don't beat the Eagles, that's gonna be the one that's gonna sting the most.
Oh,
Because if
absolutely.
you know what I mean, because I believe
Yeah.
the Eagles are gonna win the division. If you don't beat them, it's almost like, damn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why for me, I think if you want to keep him, if you want to have Cooper Rush be the starter, I think the next 4 games he has to go 4-0. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Frankie over there putting comments. I can't fuck with what Frankie said. I can't put that. That's just terrible. I can't do it, man. I can't. Question. Uh, Again, back to your point real quick, and then we'll move on. Jerry spent, like you said, 100 million on Zeke, 100 million on Cooper, and a little over 100 million on Dak. That's like 300 million. And out of that 300 million, he really only got money out of Dak. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't feel like he's getting his money's worth. Obviously, not out of Cooper anymore because Cooper's gone, and I don't think he got his money's worth out of Zeke because Pollard, in my opinion, is doing better than Zeke. You know what I mean? So I think he's definitely crying over that $300 million he just spent.
By the way, just want to throw this out there real quick. So Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, there's rumors that he wants out of OKC.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
they basically it's because OKC wants to build around. I found this out like a few hours ago. About they want to build around other young talent they have. I was talking to someone earlier, and the Celtics have put in an offer. Because of the entire Ime situation, Marcus Smart was basically the snitch. So we're considering parting ways with Marcus Smart. Whether or not we do, who knows? God knows at this point. But we have put in an offer. Marcus Smart with some picks for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. If that works, I'm peeing my pants. Other teams that are interested and have been in communication with OKC, the Suns, the Mavs, the Lakers threw a half-hearted attempt, but it wasn't legit. They just did it so they could say they tried. And the Clippers. So that's now. However, there are more teams expected to reach out. Brooklyn is expected to reach out. The Knicks, for some reason, are expected to reach out. And same thing with the Jazz, which again, you just blew it up to go get Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? Question mark. It's so weird. But yeah,
that doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense at all. But supposedly, the Jazz are like, oh yeah, we gotta go get him. So to each their own. But yeah, just pay attention to that because it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens, whether or not Shai Gilgeous-Alexander actually ends up leaving, if he ends up getting, if he ends up kind of taking it back and trying to fit in the plans or whatever. Because if the OKC, they want to build around they have Josh Giddey, Chet Holmgren, and what's that other kid's name? He's not on the team. He's basically projected. It's like Victor Wagamama, something like that. Mama Huevos. I don't know.
Hey, look, all I know is if you can't pronounce the last name, I damn sure not going to try.
Yeah, no. I just can't remember his name. I can't remember his name.
Those names I can never pronounce. And I'm like, if I'm struggling, I'm not going to try to make it.
No, it's because I can't remember. It basically, he's the tall dude that everyone is like, oh, he's going number one in next year's draft.
I remember. I know the guy you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like Victor. It's like Victor something like that. But basically, like they're thinking they already got him in the bag. It's like Victor. Yeah. I'm gonna call him Mama Guevo. Shout out to all my dudes who speak Spanish. They don't know. But yeah, Victor Mama Guevo. But yeah, now OKC in their mind think they already have him. So yeah, just kind of keep your ear to the ground when it comes to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander because there's a legitimate chance he could be out of there sooner rather than later.
Hey, folks. I want to kind of talk about. Obviously, tomorrow is NFL Sunday. God, I can't wait for tomorrow. What NFL teams, are going to be upset? I kind of jotted down a few. I kind of want to see where Pride's head is at on this. I got to be honest with you, Pride. Buffalo has taken some serious hits to their defense. We know that their safety high is out for the season. We know that their defensive tackle, Oliver, is out for this game. Poirier, I think is how you say his name, he's questionable to play. So their top cornerbacks, their top safeties are not there. A couple of one of their defensive tackles is out. A couple other ones are questionable. I mean, they got some serious issues on this defense, and they're getting ready to go up against the Miami Dolphins. And coming into this, had they had a healthy defense, I would clearly tell you that Buffalo's going to mollywop Miami. Now, I don't think they're going to blow them out, but they're definitely going to get the dub. Now I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at the hits on their defense, and I know that Miami, is, and we know Tua Tonga by Goda. I think that's how you said it. Hopefully I said it right. But we know what Tua's going to do. We saw what he did last week, Pride. The boy damn near had 500 damn yards and 6 touchdowns. And I believe it was on the Ravens, which we know the Ravens have a pretty, good defense. And now we're going up against the Bills. And for the first time, I really see Miami being the leader in the division. And I think Buffalo's going to lose this game and take one step back. I don't think that it's going to end up at the end of the season that way, but they're going to lose this just based off of injuries. What is your thought process on the Miami-Buffalo game?
I've been thinking about this long and hard. But I am ready to say something. I probably shouldn't say this, but my mother did not raise a bitch. She was a grown man who had 2 children. So I think the Bills can go. I think they're going undefeated, including this game. They're beating them by 20. And the only other team I'm really concerned about them playing is the Chiefs.
Interesting. Yeah, I get the Chiefs because we saw what the Chiefs did to the Chargers. So we know that the Chiefs are, obviously they had their stuff together. But again, when it comes to the Bills, if I understand you correctly, and if I interpret what you're saying correctly, you tell me if I'm wrong, but you're basically telling me that you believe that Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and that offense is going to put up enough points to compensate the points that defense most likely will give up and still pull off the dub. Is that kind of what I'm understanding?
Yeah, because against the Rams defense, they put up 31 after a slow start, for a lack of a better term, right? Then they just hung up 41 against the Titans. Respectfully, the Dolphins, respectfully. And on top of that, this Bills defense is deep. So yeah, you're losing guys, but sure, but let's be honest, they got other guys that are going to be able to step up. For me, it really comes down to the fact that you have the Buffalo Bills, in my opinion, are the deepest team in the NFL offensively and defensively.
Nice.
They're like they're just so deep. So these injuries aren't really over the top concerning for me because they have guys that can step up. They have guys on their roster that could be starters elsewhere, but have chosen to stay in Buffalo because they know, look, we have an opportunity to do something special here. So I got the Bills winning, and I got the Bills winning handily. I don't know about you, Jay, but like Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen is becoming the most slept on wide receiver quarterback duo in the league. Like, in my opinion, I think they're top 2. But I'll put Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp 1 because of that historical year that Cooper Kupp had last year, and Kupp is still getting his touches now.
Right.
But right behind them, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs gotta be up there, man. It's crazy, bro. And if you know if I don't know who else who you would have. If I'm wrong, let me know. But they got to be up there, man. They're a
hey, and again, I wish I would have had the opportunity to looking back on how to draft Stephon Diggs, man. Damn, I missed that golden opportunity. I took freaking Derrick Henry, son of a bitch. It is. Hey, it is. Hey, you know what? It is what it is. I can't go back and fix that spilt milk. But again, another game that I think is interesting and upset would be the Colts over the Chiefs. And I say that, and I put that specifically here only because Pride chose the Colts this week to win. And I feel like I don't know why you chose the Colts. I'm still befuddled by that.
I didn't choose the Colts.
But I feel like, hold on. But I feel like maybe you know something I don't know. So because I felt like Pride had enough confidence, because I felt like you had enough confidence to choose the Colts over the Chiefs, I went ahead and made that an upset because now I feel like, well, maybe the Colts will beat the Chiefs now, based on solely off of your prediction. What do you got to say about the Colts and Chiefs?
You got the wrong guy, brother.
No, I specifically asked you a million times when you said Colts over Chiefs. I did.
When did I say this? I said Chiefs over Colts. You got.
Are you sure that's what you said? Are you sure? So if I go back to the text, but
I'm looking at it right now.
You said it in the chat group. That's where you said it was a chat
group. And a message to you privately too.
You know what? You know what? Hold on.
I am looking at it right now.
Hey, look. Hey, no. Hey, if it's there, it's there. I'm not going to dispute that. No, it could just be a miss. You know what? I'm really glad you came on this show tonight to get that clarified.
Well, you scared me, bro. I'm not that.
Because because I thought that. I was like, why is he? No, I said, why is he choosing Colts over? This doesn't make sense.
I'm not that brave, brother. I'm not that brave.
Hey, listen, listen, when it comes to Pride, I don't question. I just write down what I hear or what I see.
Nah, I got the Chiefs over the Colts because for me, man, I'll tell you what.
Damn, you're right. I see it. You're right. And what's really weird is what's really weird is I texted you and said you're locked in. Son of a gun.
Yeah, okay. Like you answered my text, so it's like, why play me?
I think when you caught can I tell you something else? I think that's weird.
I'm here.
Is I actually wrote down Pride says Chiefs. I've actually got it written down in my book, Pride Chiefs. So you know what it is? You know what it is? Is I think I was so mad at you for choosing that game because why I felt like you took the easy way out. And Frankie said it too. That's what I got it confused. Okay.
I took the easy route. But I'm gonna give you an upset for it.
Listen, those are the ones that do that are typically the ones that run the country. So I get it. I understand. Hey, it is what it is. Let's go on to the next game real quick. I got Jags. I think the Jags have the opportunity, Pride. If Herbert. Hey, watch this. Watch now. Now listen. Now I'm gonna tell you why. When I tell you why, it's gonna make sense. It's a conditional. It's a conditional upset. And what I mean by that is we all know that Justin Herbert is hurt right now. It's his rib cage. His ribs are listed. He's listed as questionable for Sunday's game against the Jags after sitting out Friday's practice with his ribs. So obviously, and you tell me if I'm wrong, Prime. If Herbert plays, okay, I think the Chargers win. If he does not play, then I think the Jags pull off the upset and walk away with that dub over the Chargers. What do you think?
Okay, I get it. I get it because I remember when this first came out, I can't remember who I was talking to, but their backup, and I think the backup they would end up rocking with was he's not a rookie, but the young kid from he was on the Colts and he started with what was for Easton Stick. They have Chase Daniels and Easton Stick, so it's kind of like good luck. So sure, I get it, but I think even without Justin Herbert, they still win. But I do get your point though. I just think with Justin Herbert, he just puts them, over the top.
No. I obviously with Herbert, yeah. But I want to go back to the previous one. So even without Herbert, you still got Jags pulling off the dub.
Oh, yeah, I got the Chargers over the Jags. Yes.
Yeah. I don't care about with, because we all know that's obvious. But
no, I'm talking about without. I'm talking about a Herbert without a Chargers without Justin Herbert. I think they go, and the reason why is because I'm looking at Austin Eckler, who can run the ball, and you can also let him play kind of the a little screen game, maybe even line them up to do short throws, because you got the wide receivers that you can kind of just keep them short, right? Like Keenan Allen can play short,
right?
So can Mike Will, right? Like you got like your two best receivers, you can have them play short. You got Jalen Guyton, who can kind of do the same thing. And your tight ends, you got a nice 1-2 punch in Gerald Everett and Donald Parham Jr. They thrive in the short game. So it's like I'm looking at all of this, and it's like, yeah, they could play a little. Granted, it won't be flashing or exciting, but they could have a little slow offense, type of situation where like 3-5 yard dump offs here and there. I think that can carry them through a very inexperienced and on the come up team in the Jags. Plus, yeah, you are losing Justin Herbert, but that defense is still going to shut down that Jags offense. So that's why, you know what I mean? So that's why for me, like,
I got you.
Their defense will still be able to kind of do their thing. And I think the offense, I think they still have enough where they can score against a Jags team that, let's be honest, is not good. They're just not good. Now, if this was against if this was against the Buccaneers, I'm singing a different tune. But because it's the Jags, I'm okay. And I was talking with James about this. If there is a stretch of games, if you're the Chargers, if there's a stretch of games you want Justin Herbert to miss, it's this one. It's this stretch of games. Because their next 3 games, Jags, Texans, Browns. So if you want him to miss any stretch of games, it's
that's a good stretch. That's a good stretch to
know what I mean? Yeah, because right after that, it gets kind of rough. Because in the second, and after that, they got the Broncos, then they got 2 more games, but then the Niners, Chiefs, and Cardinals. So it kind of does get a little harder, but I think they have enough to pull out the win against Jacksonville.
The only reason I question a little bit is, and of course, this is again if they don't have Justin Herbert. If they don't have Justin Herbert, I look at what the Jags did against the Colts, and they put them out 24-0, and everybody knows Taylor is no joke at the running back position. Matt Ryan's still Matt Ryan. The only really true deficiency with the Colts is they have a lack of receiver help, a lack of number one. I feel like, though, even with that, I feel like, what they did against the Colts, if they don't have Herbert, I feel like, they can still do that against the Chargers. But, yeah, that's going to be an interesting – if they don't have Herbert, that's going to be a really super interesting game to see how that unfolds. The last game I got is the Cards. Van Jefferson is out. I don't know how much he really accounts when you got Robinson and you got – Cooper Kupp and stuff. But Van Jefferson apparently is going to miss this game. So I have the Cards over the Rams in the upset. Do you think that's possible, or do you still feel like the Rams are going to come out and dominate?
Not only do I think it's possible, in my eyes, and this is just me, but in my eyes, the Cardinals should be the favorite.
Yeah.
We are talking about a Rams team that got destroyed week 1, right? It got a little tough and they couldn't handle it anymore. Double down with the fact that they almost lost to the Falcons.
Yeah, they did. That's absolutely, yeah. I remember that game. I couldn't believe it.
They were real close to selling us out. So I think the Cardinals are actually getting. I think it's a situation where it's like the momentum game. I think the Rams are going down in momentum, and I think the Cardinals are going up because last week against the Raiders, anytime they needed a play,
they got
Kyler Murray did what he needed to do.
Right.
And I think he does the same thing. And I got the Cardinals over the Rams.
Question. Just on the Rams alone. Now we know they lost Von Miller. Okay, I get that. They replaced him with Billy Wagner from the Seahawks.
Bobby.
And they lost Rob Woods, but they replaced him with Allen Robinson. What is going on with this Rams team? It's not like for what they lost, obviously Von Miller is better than Wagner, but still Wagner's not he's not a bad piece to add in there or substitute in. Neither is Robinson for Woods. What's going on with this Rams team? I feel like they should be better than what they're projecting.
I think it's a combination of things. I think first and foremost, I think it's really a situation of when they got there, like, a lot of these new pieces got there, they didn't know really what to do with them. For example, Allen Robinson, week 1, he was a ghost. Granted, week 2, they kind of did go to him more. But as soon as Van Jefferson comes back, he's going to lose touches. So it's going to put him back in no man's land. If we're looking over at Bobby Wagner is doing what he's supposed to be doing. The problem is that Jalen Ramsey is getting cooked every time he steps on a football field. The problem is they don't have a single cornerback that can stay in front of the wide receiver.
God, Jalen Ramsey just been killed.
He's been murdered. He's been mollywop, destroyed, slapped around. Like, what's been happening to him is what my girl does to me, like before I go on shows. Straight abuse. Straight abuse. And it's this insane thing where he's getting cooked and it makes everyone else look bad. And now the offense kind of almost has to repeat. Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp got to repeat the whole Triple Crown thing again.
Right.
And it's like doing that 2 years in a row, that's way too much to ask for, especially considering now Cooper Kupp is getting triple teamed. Cooper Kupp is getting triple teamed. Oof, what a time to be alive, man. But honestly,
hey, I'm telling you, it's a hell of a time to be alive.
Yep. It's crazy.
Right. I lost control of my computer screen again. I found I take it to Best Buy. So I'm going to ask you to take over. Can you take over the production side of this show? Do you have that ability?
No, I can't. I can't take over this thing, but I can run the rest of the show if you would like.
Yeah, no, just on the production side. I can't I'll get it.
Because I can't control the slide. You want me to take it down?
No, don't worry about controlling the slides. If you just end the show and we need to end the show, that's great. That'd be great. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, yeah. Just let me
know. So we only, thank God, my computer knew when to crap out at the end. Because we were actually at the last topic of the night. And the last topic of the night is going to go back to the docket just for a minute. The thing about it, Doc, the only thing that bothers me about this isn't so much that he cheated, because people do that. I mean, like I said, that's nothing new in the world. I mean, it's commonplace almost to some point. So it's not that's not the big thing. Even the fact that he broke some company policies, come on. Corporate America does that. No, everybody does that. Nobody, whatever. It is what it is. The part that bothers me is now there's been reports come out that he was making inappropriate comments to the lady in the workplace. Have you heard this, Bryce? Have you seen what I'm talking about?
So I was my bad. I was talking to one of my boys earlier. So this is what supposedly the issue is. Now, supposedly all this stuff about Ime Udoka making gestures and inappropriate comments, supposedly that's not true.
Okay.
Supposedly that's just people within the organization just leaking false information. At least that's how it was told to me. The reason why Ime Udoka was suspended was because he was piping the wife of a high-powered person in the Celtics organization. It wasn't the towel girl. It wasn't the chick that just drives the bus. It wasn't a masseuse. It wasn't the ball girl. It was a Celtics VP. The wife of a Celtics VP is who Ime Udoka was doing this. Brad Stevens knew about it. And he warned Ime Udoka. And he told him, knock it off, because this is going to get real messy real fast. A lot of the higher ups knew this. And they all went to Ime. Stop it. Get some help. Like MJ said when he did that anti-drug PSA. Stop it. Get some help.
Just stop it. Well, hey, Pride, I guess maybe Udoka was thinking, damn, go big or go home, homie.
That's right. Listen, man. He doubled, tripled, and quadrupled down because everyone was telling him, dude, stop. And he said, okay. And he kept doing it. And again, it was consensual. And the reason why this suspension happened now was because the husband of the woman found out.
Oh, yeah.
This was a secret. That nobody told. Like, this was something where they told him, and done.
Because they did, and correct me if I'm wrong, it was like a month-long investigation that they were doing on this guy.
Yes, they were. And it's insane.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
Literally, like, what a time to be alive.
Yep. And then again, this wasn't the first person. Like, Ime Udoka has been kind of having relationship with multiple women in the organization. So now there's like a lady who does the travel stuff that she's one of them and whatnot. And again, whether or not, honestly, I think Ime was just slaying whoever was there. I think he was like, hey, you want some? I'll make some time. I think Ime was just slaying it, bro. That's just me. But nobody cared about them. Nobody cared about them. They didn't make this a big deal until he started, trying to one-up himself and be like the towel. Let me go see if I can pull this VP real quick. And that's when things got bad.
Let me ask you this. Based on, and I did not know that. That's even more breaking than I didn't know about. So based off of what you just said, the fact that he was having an affair, or he was cheating on his wife, number one. Number two, he's breaking company policy. And number three, he's part of an affair with the VP's wife.
Mm-hmm.
How even if he does the year, how does he retain his coaching job there, knowing what he did to the upper echelons? Why? I just can't imagine. If I'm this VP, I'm going to the owner and I'm like, look, suspend him, fire him. I don't want him coming back. Hell no. I gotta imagine that's his reaction. How does Udoka come back from this?
So this is why, like, I don't know if you actually heard the suspension. The suspension was a year, but it's also an indefinite suspension. And the reason why they called it an indefinite suspension is they don't know if they want Ime back. They don't know if Ime is going to fit with them anymore, especially considering that they've warned him and he continued to do it. Now, Joe Mazzulla, who basically is now the interim coach for the Boston Celtics, this is a situation where they're giving him the year and they're going to see how he does. If they feel he does well enough, they're going to fire Ime Udoka. However, if not, step 2 of it would be to kind of put him back on at his regular position, and then they're gonna go and look for a head coach. Ime Udoka is Plan Z. If
he's the last option you got to
so,
figure
if
at this point.
exactly like if Joe Mazzulla can't hack it and he ends up being a bum and no one else wants a job, then we bring back Ime Udoka. Until then, Ime Udoka, not only is he not allowed in the organization, he's not allowed to speak to anyone in the organization. It's to the point where in his exit meeting, because they actually sat down and had a conversation with him. These were some of the rules and stipulations that was put upon him. And this is by far hilarious, okay? If anyone asks him what his prior job was, he's not allowed to mention that he was the head coach for the Boston Celtics. The last year of his career no longer exists. So if people ask him for it professionally, he needs to go back to the Spurs. That's number one. Number two, he is not to mention anything about the scandal that brought him out of Boston. He's not allowed to say any of that. He's basically, so he basically has to act as if it never happened. 3, Jay, you're going to love this one. They made him turn in his Celtics uniform. You know the Celtics jacket he used to have all the time, and he would go. They made him turn that in, and then they said he is not to wear anything Boston Celtics affiliated. My man can't even buy a jersey.
Damn,
that's how deep, and that's how serious Brad Stevens is taking this situation. Because Brad Stevens was the one who told them this stuff. Brad Stevens, I don't know if because I think it was yesterday that they had the press conference where they kind of revealed everything and was like, Ime's out, this is the new coach, all that stuff. Prior to that, they called Ime in and they had a conversation with him. And he laid it all on the line. This is not up for negotiation. I'm telling you what's happening. Damn. If you want to quit, you can. But that's up to you. So he's he's to act as if his previous year did not happen. There are actually other penalties he can incur. If he reaches out to anybody in the staff, that is a fine and immediate termination. So he would even have the opportunity to come back. And then there's also the Celtics VP, I forgot his name, but he basically will leave Ime alone as long as Ime Udoka does not reach out to him. If Ime does, that VP can actually sue Udoka for harassment. Which would be a civil suit, and it'll be a whole thing.
Holy cow.
For the next year, Ime Udoka needs to walk on eggshells. By the way, Damien says Neil Long will ruin his life. Neil Long, ugly as fuck. Okay, they broke up way before this, so pump the brakes. Let's stop acting like Neil. Oh my god, she's a treasure. No, bro, get out of here, bro. She looks like I put a Barbie in an oven. My fault. You were saying, Jay?
God, that made me laugh. I want to spit my drink. Hey, so Neil Long and Udoka, they were split up before or during this affair and before and all that stuff.
Yes. Yep.
So my question is this: if you're Ime Udoka, and you know that you're plan Z number one, and number two, you feel like even if you were hired back, there's going to be a lot of awkwardness, in the building, and there's going to be probably a lot of awkwardness in that position. Would it be better for him to just go on ahead and leave the Celtics and look for a job elsewhere? I'm pretty sure somebody's going to pick his butt up.
Oh, 110%.
You know what I mean? I think about Udoka, I'm just like, you know what? I think I'm done with the Celtics. I don't think I can come back and actually have a quality work-life experience here. And I know I'm hireable because I just went to the finals. I don't have to tell my future basketball employer who my team was because they're going to freaking know already. Nobody's an idiot.
And if they ask him about that, he's not allowed to say anything.
You don't have to say nothing about it. Hey, look, all they got to know is that he was in the finals.
Yep.
I'm just saying that, man. I mean, his work history will speak for himself, and I guarantee you, there is an NBA organization that will hire him.
And here's another thing. Remember when Derek Fisher was the coach for the Knicks? Yeah. Remember when they came out that he was a womanizer?
Yeah, I do remember that.
What happened? Yeah, what ended up happening? He got fired.
Did he get? Yeah, but he got fired.
Yeah, he got another job.
They're gonna hire Udoka. He's got the pedigree. He's gonna land a damn job.
It's just gonna be a situation where he's just gonna have to take some time off.
Jason and sometimes you need to take that time off, recalibrate, maybe reset your life, get your stuff straight, and then go into the new season or what have you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because it's gonna weigh down. This whole thing's got to be weighing down on him. I mean, seriously, got to be weighing heavily on him.
Listen. As a dude, I understand. I get it. You want to get your cheeks wet. I get it. But you just got to be careful. You got to be smart. You can't be doing this dumb stuff. What's up, Chris?
What's up, fellas?
You can't be doing this stuff. And then when somebody warns you, and you're like, you're right, I got it, and you do it again, then someone else warns you, and you go, I got it, and you do it again, and again, and again. It's like at some point, it's like, Ime, I get it, you and Neil Long aren't together no more, I get it. But Shorty had a man too, bro. What are you doing? At some point, it's like, all right, Ime, you get what you get at some point, bro. Like, eventually, if you touch the oven enough, your hand's going to get disfigured because of the burning you're going through. Chris, how you doing, brother?
Doing good. Just got back from listening to a band play and saw you guys were still on, so figured I'd want to see what was going on. I was rocking out.
Yeah, free Ime. Yeah, you're like Ime Udoka. You're rocking out with your cock out.
Is Jay froze?
He might be. He might be. But yeah, Chris, Ime.
What's the new stuff going on with Ime? I hadn't heard this, but on my way home, I heard you say something about Marcus Smart was a snitch.
Basically, Marcus Smart was
might get rid of him.
So the rumor is that Marcus Smart was the one who blew the whistle and was like the official one who kind of like told everyone what was going on. Basically, the only people in the organization who didn't know, rumor has it was Marcus Smart was the one who said it. So what they kind of want to do is clear a house of anyone who was involved in it. So that way they can kind of move on type of thing. But Marcus Smart technically didn't really do anything wrong. So they're kind of like, whatever. Basically, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander doesn't want to be in OKC anymore. So, like, because they don't have any plans for him. So because of that, right, because the Celtics called and offered, and they were like, because we're not going to give up Jaylen Brown for him, no. But we're like, we got Malcolm Brogdon. We can just kind of have Brogdon fill that Marcus Smart role, get Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and take off.
Brogdon's a good defender as well.
Right. So the offer we gave was, I think it was Marcus Smart a first and a second for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That was what we gave, which I don't think is bad, but I think there's a few other teams that can give way more than what we can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think there's some that can give way more. And because they can give way more, I think they're going to be in a position where they got the leverage and whatnot. So that's basically how I'm looking at it. But like I said, the Suns.
You might have already said this, but as a Celtics fan, do you think Udoka will ever coach the Celtics again?
I think so. I think it's a possibility. I'll put it to you this way. If I'm the Celtics organization, as a fan, I want to see Ime back because I love Ime. However, if I'm running that organization, I don't suspend him. I fire him.
Yeah.
only because it's like
I get it.
because again, it's if
But
you
what I
had
don't
just
like is they suspend them, and then they're saying, then we'll reevaluate it. No, either fire him or say he's going to be the coach.
So Chris, this basically goes to what the reason why they're saying they're evaluating it. They're not evaluating the situation. They're evaluating who wants to come to Boston. So if the interim coach does not do a good job, he goes back to his original thing, and then we open the job for others. If no one else wants to come or no one else fits, then we will settle for Ime Udoka.
My thing is, if you're going to do that, just fire him.
To be honest.
And let me ask you this: the more important question for me is this. Okay, so Udoka suspended for the year. They're going to put in Missoula, like you said, as interim coach until they can find a suitable replacement, whatever the case may be. But either way, we're going into the new season without Udoka at the helm, and we're going to be relying on either Missoula or whoever. Most likely, like you said, Missoula. Now, what does that do in terms of the Celtics rankings in the East? Like, does it lower them, or do you think they're top 3? I mean, where does that put them under new management?
I mean, I'm going to keep them at 1 in the East.
Okay.
Only because it's this weird situation where I'm not sure, I'm not sure where we're going from here. And what I mean by that is I don't know if Joe's a good coach or bad coach. Right. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Because they lost their best assistant to the Jazz and Hardy.
Exactly. So it's a weird situation where I don't know. We don't really know.
Didn't they almost lose Missoula as well?
No, Missoula is the one who's taken over.
Yeah, but didn't they almost lose him when they lost Hardy? Wasn't he going to go? And then they kind of upped his position.
Yeah, they upped his position and ended up kind of keeping him in.
Now he's the head coach, but before that, he was going to be like the top assistant or something.
Right. So it's this weird situation where I'm not. I don't know. Listen, I'm like I said, I'm still gonna keep us up. From what I understand, Missoula has had some he has had some coaching experience through college. They have given him a season in the G League to, do his thing. He ended up leaving and came back. Brad Stevens loves him. So does Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Interesting.
So he has to be doing something right for him to be able to leave and come back.
Right.
Based off of what Brad Stevens wants. And when he was there, both the Jays loved him. So he has to be doing something right. It's not a situation where when they hired him, they're like, okay. Like, it wasn't like that. Everyone loves him. So that's kind of why I'm gonna go, you know what? I'm gonna roll with him. I'm gonna rock with him. Let's see what happens. And I'll have some faith,
Hey, real quick, while we're talking about the Celtics, obviously we know that Gallinari went over there overseas to play. He got hurt. Now it looks like he's going to miss the season. Does that have any weight or any bearing on this team at all? I mean, obviously he hasn't played for him, so I guess probably not much.
Gallinari?
Yeah, Gallinari. They were looking at him being that 3-point, threat. That when they went into they got into the playoffs or in the finals, that would be their guy, their go-to 3-point guy.
He was supposed to be the guy that was going to be able to stretch the floor. That we going to put him at the floor. Yeah. He was going to be able to stretch it to give Robert Williams more opportunities to get some one-on-one plays with his back to the basket. Now that didn't happen. Oof. Okay. Oof. Now they're talking about we're going to get Melo. Suicide. Here I come. I will say this though. The Gallinari thing does hurt. It really does. But I don't know. I don't think it hurts as bad as I think I anticipated it in the beginning. I thought we were gonna be screwed. But to be honest, after this Ime thing, that's the least of my concern.
Oh,
That's the least of my concern. That's the least of my concern. So it's like at first, like when I first did this, I was like, man, we're screwed. We're hit. And all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, by the way, Ime's gone. I'm just like, yeah, all right, Gallinari, go back to your corner, settle down, I give you enough attention. I gotta focus on this. What are we gonna do? The captain is gone. What is going on? Everybody, you guys watch Chris, you used to watch TNA back in the day, right?
Yep.
You know what this reminds me of? TNA when Jeff Jarrett started sleeping with Karen. And then Dixie sent Jeff Jarrett home.
Yeah.
And then it's like, wait, our fearless leader is gone. Who do we turn to? Russo? Fuck me. It's like I almost have that vibe. Like, who do we turn to? Joe Mazzulla? Wait, the guy who has a DUI? Wait, the guy who was arrested because he hit a woman?
Didn't he have a domestic battery charge?
So I'm like,
hey, and when they were talking about, they said he paid $100 fine.
I was like,
how do you get off a domestic battery charge with $100 fine?
Give me his lawyer. Give me his, because I'm gonna start slapping people now. I'm gonna go into Dollar General. I'm gonna slap the first guy I see. If you can get away with it for 100 beans, bro, I'm slapping people now.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, oh my days,
it's only gonna cost me a bill if I slap you. Okay.
Right.
Let me ask you a question. So if Udoka becomes available because maybe the Celtics go, like you said, a different route and they let him go, the Rockets got Silas as their head coach, which he came from Dallas. I don't think he's doing necessarily.
Like, send them to the Houston.
Hey, listen, no, yeah, exactly. I'm not saying Silas is doing a bad job, but if obviously you know though that Udoka built the Celtics, got them to the finals, I'm thinking like, I don't know, man. I mean, do we try to go after Udoka and hopefully he can come and do for the Rockets with all the lottery picks that we still have coming?
There's gonna be teams interested in him.
That he did for the Celtics.
That's the thing. Like, you're gonna have to, whatever organization he goes to.
So your VPs to hide their wives? I don't know. What do we do?
Hide your wives, hide your aunts, hide your sisters, hide your nieces, hide them all. Hide them all, because Ime's just slinging it for everyone, bro. If you got a pulse, Ime coming for you, bro. Pause. But nah, man, like it's a situation where the next place, because again, if he had just was sleeping around random girls he was meeting, I don't think it would have mattered. The issue is the fact that this man looked at a woman, said, "You are married to a higher up in this organization. I know that. I see your ring." The first sentence I spoke to you was, "I like your ring. Who gave it to you?" And we then had a conversation about your husband.
Oh, Lord.
This is real life. This is not being beat by hyperbole. This is real life. Like I was talking to my boy. He told me everything. She was one of the first people he met.
And I was told that she's not even that good looking, though.
I don't know, man.
I haven't seen her, but
like I said, bro, if you breathe, Ime coming for you, man. Ime slaying him, bro. It's insane, bro. Like, I guess Ime got it like that, bro. I don't know, but whatever.
He must have some pretty good game.
I'm saying,
I mean,
bro,
if a coach can take away the VP's wife,
oof, he did that.
I'm just saying.
He did all that so he didn't lose his job. God bless the man. But whoever takes him, you're going to have to be very careful with him. You have to be very careful with him.
It looks like the score right now is A&M 23, Arkansas 21. It's a nail-biter, 2-point differential with 10:05 left to go in the game. And guess who's there? Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy are at the A&M Arkansas game. How crazy is that? No, I'm sorry. I think that was actually Stephen Jones. I apologize. It wasn't Mike McCarthy. It was Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones at the Arkansas A&M game.
By the way, remember how we said Northern Illinois could go up in the rankings? Yeah, we blinked, and now they're losing. So it went 14-14 at the half. Now it's 31-17. Kentucky's up. So
damn, coach. I
Yeah,
guess.
so-
Well, I guess
Oh, my
Kentucky
days.
answered that question
Bama
pretty
dropped-
nicely too.
So Bama scored 41 points, and it's still the third quarter. Bryce Young, give that man the Heisman at this point. Rename it the Young Award.
Real quick, do we know Pride? Who is number 6 in the rankings right now? Obviously, we know Clemson's at 5. Who's 6?
Oklahoma. I want to say it's Oklahoma. I'm gonna verify that just to be on the safe side. But I'm convinced when I was looking at it earlier.
I'm pretty sure it
was Oklahoma. Let me double
For sure it
check.
is Oklahoma.
Yes, it's Oklahoma.
So my question is this, and I don't know, how is Oklahoma playing today? I'm actually pulling up the scores now. I'm curious to see how Oklahoma played.
Kansas. They're losing in Kansas.
Yeah. Okay. So Oklahoma's got oh damn, coach. So right now Kansas State is 24-20 over number 6 Oklahoma. 11:42 left to go in the third. Damn, Pride. What if Kansas State beats Oklahoma? Holy shit.
If that happens, oof.
Oof.
That's gonna be crazy. Not even gonna lie.
I think you give that new coach Venables a couple of years, and Oklahoma's going to be right there at the top because I think he's going to build a defense there.
Now, right now, he ain't defending Kansas State.
But you got to remember, this is his first year there, so he still has a lot of Lincoln Riley's players.
It's not like he took over a second-rate team. I mean, we're getting a team that
they never had a defense. They never had a defense with Lincoln Riley there, Jay.
Well, that's true.
You're not wrong there.
I mean,
I'm saying it's one time to be alive. I can't wait to see how. I can't wait to see how
Venables was one of the best defensive. He was one of the best defensive coordinators in college football.
I know. Trust me, with Venables, you know that he's one of the best defensive minds in college football. I'm not knocking that at all. But it is going to be interesting to see how these rankings shift out. Come next go around. I can't wait to see how this plays out tonight.
Who did Ohio State beat?
Ohio beat Wisconsin.
They beat Wisconsin, right?
Yeah, they beat Wisconsin. The only other game that could be interesting.
Oh, no, they're playing right now. They're playing right now. It's 38-7. Damn.
Yeah, it was a night game. I didn't know if it was still on or not. But.
Yeah, it's still on the third quarter. Wow, there's still a lot of time.
Like I said, I went to a concert with my mom and dad, so I just got back, so I haven't watched much. I didn't watch none of the evening college football games.
Question. So, what do we think? I mean, how dirty? And this, we'll wrap it up with this, then we'll get into final thoughts. But how dirty is Arizona State for the way that they did Herm Edwards? Have y'all heard about all the craziness going on with that? I mean, come on.
Chris, you didn't hear about it? Okay.
Yeah, no, I heard about it.
Oh my day. So for those people who didn't hear about it,
it's ridiculous.
To speed up the firing of Herm Edwards, some staffers were leaking plays to opponents, so that way Arizona State would perform and by the way, did y'all see how he got fired?
Yeah, on the field.
Jay, I don't know if you saw the clip.
I didn't see the clip, but I know he got fired on the field.
So he's like running to like the tunnel, and he gets stopped. I don't know who it was that stopped him, but it's basically like, was it the principal?
It was
It was like two guys, and he was like, "Hey, what's going on, guys?"
The athletic director and maybe like the president.
Director, and yeah. So he shakes their hand. He thinks everything's fine, and then like they say something, and then all of a sudden you hear her member goes, "What happened? Gone? Okay." Shakes their hand, and he just off he goes. I'm like, that was a firing? What are you doing?
I think you know what, it's a really crappy way to do business, but I think Arizona State's probably thought to themselves, "Hey, if we fire Herm on the field in front of all these people, he's less likely to make a scene, and we're less likely to have to deal with this. It'd be a quick in and out, and we're done."
I don't care, man.
It's the cowardly way to do it.
Bullshit. That's not. That's not how you don't treat somebody like that.
Oh, no, you don't. You don't. And Herm, being the professional that he is, He's not going to make a scene on the field and make him look bad in front of
He
millions
should've,
of people. So he
He
has
should have
no
punched that
choice.
athletic director in the face. It only cost him
Well,
$100.
Hey, you know what? Let me tell you how it works. You give him the handshake. You act like nothing bothered you. You go back to clean out your desk. You stop by, and then you find where his wife is, and you go bang her.
Email Udoka. Now listen, we're in about 2 months. He's gonna get on a podcast and he's gonna tell everyone what happened.
Oh, you know he will. Absolutely.
So it's like, they're gonna end up kind of saying everything.
And the thing is, Herm Edwards has had some pretty good years there at Arizona State too. I mean,
Arizona State just screwed him over. I don't know why they chose to do it that way, but they definitely screwed him over. Like, how are you going to leak out information to your opponent? Come on.
Is the Arkansas game over?
Arkansas?
No, not yet.
Oh, brother.
Not yet. A&M is it's in the third quarter, and A&M has got a 2-point lead. So, about maybe. Oh no, we're in the fourth. We got
we're in the fourth quarter. 7:52.
What time did the game start?
Oh, it started maybe around what 7-ish, 7:30.
Oh, there it is. I couldn't find it on my game list here. I finally found it.
Yeah, it must be hard when you got like 1,000 channels. I get it, man. I got like 60. I can find it in 2 seconds. No big deal.
Yo, Chris, I don't know if you saw Bellator. Yoel Romero.
I haven't seen Bellator.
Dude, Yoel Romero looks juiced, bro.
Are they fighting tonight?
No, he fought yesterday.
Oh, yesterday. Now
he beat Melvin Manhoef bad. And
I was watching that Shakur Stevenson fight.
Oh my Lord! Talk about a clinic.
Yeah.
I was upset that he missed weight, but I give him props. He was like, you know what? That's on me. I take responsibility.
And he's never going to fight that weight again.
No, he said he's going up.
Yep.
And they called out Devin Haney.
And it's one thing, dude. Here's my thing about him. He missed weight by he was 1.5 pounds over. I can get that. Hey, okay, you can't sweat no more. There ain't nothing you can do about it. It's the guys that are 9 pounds over that make that. It's like, come on, did you really try? You know what I mean? And I like you said, he owned it. He said it was my fault.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It was my fault. He goes, I done everything I could. I couldn't make it, and I'm moving up a weight class.
Yeah, because not only he did that, but he goes up, ends up winning. Hats off to him and everything. But again, the part that I respected was he was like, I missed the weight. I signed to fight at a certain weight. I didn't make it. Forgive me. And he, it wasn't.
He didn't make excuses.
Braggadocious. It wasn't no braggadocious. Not like how Chimaev handled it.
Yeah.
He was like all smiling and he was like flipping people off. Like, it wasn't like that. Nah, Jay, you missed it. He was like 8 pounds over and he was like, whoops, like flipping everyone off.
Try to act like it was everybody else's fault that he was 8 pounds over.
How many people are looking forward to Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather next year? By a show of hands.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
You don't think it's gonna happen? They said it's in the works.
I don't think so. I don't.
What you think? What do you think about Silva and Jake Paul?
That's a joke.
I would not pay money to see that. I would not. If it's free and I can stream it,
I'm not gonna pay money to watch it.
But that's what I'm saying. Hey, if it's streamable, I'm gonna watch it. If I gotta pay, I'll pass.
I'm good. I honestly I would. I have
Jay,
not.
You need to check out the app I sent you, man.
Dude, I just need to kill myself.
I don't know, man. There's a really good.
I do have a question for you. Well, I'll ask you off air because I don't know if you want to tell everybody on air. So I'll ask you off air.
Text it to me. I want to see.
But hey,
you
put it in the private chat. Put it in the private chat.
Because you can't. You
well,
can't.
I started saying, I was like, I might not want to ask him live.
You can't rile up my curiosity and then leave me hanging.
Listen, the smoke level that has been generated on the series of events over the past couple of months, you cannot possibly duplicate. So it's going to be okay.
That's probably true.
It's like, would it still be up there?
Hey,
man.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man.
So,
honestly, go ahead, Jay.
No, I was gonna say no. Go ahead and say what you were gonna say. What were you gonna say? You're good.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, he lives in the dirty South part.
Well, I didn't know if he
No.
wanted to just tell everybody, so that's why I kind of.
What I miss?
No, he was basically asking where you live, but he said earlier that he's from South Carolina. So
Oh yeah.
I know he's from South Carolina, but I was asking.
Now listen, now we don't put the city out because we
Oh.
don't want taxi
That's why I
collectors
put it
or
private because I didn't know if
you
he wanted
know.
everybody to know exactly where.
We don't want them ex-girlfriends showing up at his door. You know,
It
those
doesn't
kinds of things
matter.
will look bad on Ryan.
Does it matter? She's asleep. I live in a place called Greenville. I don't care.
Oh, Greenville. Okay. What reason
Yeah.
I asked?
Greenville, South Carolina. Don't you go
My mom was watching that live PD last night, and there was some crazy shit going on in South Carolina, dude.
Bro, they used to do it. It's funny.
It was Berkeley. I think Berkeley.
Them crackheads, bro. I'm telling you. Yeah,
Some crazy shit.
Hey, isn't there like a minor league team out there in South Carolina though?
Florida got tackled. From Florida got tackled, and they brought him up. And I swear, when I first looked at him, I thought it was you. I told my dad, I said, Dad, that looked like Florida. I said, no, that's in Florida. That's not in South Carolina. We're good.
No, it's kind of funny you said that because, like,
you know, all Dominicans look alike. It's hard to tell them apart.
Yeah, you know.
Me and Frankie he had the beard and everything, dude. I was like, man, is that pride? I said, no, that's not him. Look, no, that's in Florida. He don't live in Florida.
It's funny because like a couple years ago, they used to do it in like where I live, like in Greenville County. They used to do it. There's a kid.
Now it's called On Patrol or something like that. But
something like that. Yeah. But there was a kid who was a cop and was on it. I used to work at a tree place. Like we basically cut down trees.
Mm-hmm.
He basically got in trouble because he was trying to arrest a black guy for like no reason whatsoever. I guess he knew him because he banged his girl and he took his like the kid, his name is Ryan. He took his girl back, but it's like he's still mad. So he saw him and he tried to arrest him, but he got beat up. And it's kind of funny because when he got beat up, he went back to the station. He was like, "Oh, I want to press charges on him." And then his they were like, "All right, we just see the body cam." And he was so confident. He turned the body cam and everything. And they actually looked at the body cam and they were like, "Wait a minute. You swung and missed." Like, wait, you swung again. And they're actually narrating to this to Ryan, bro, you swung at the man 4 times. What do you expect him to do? He like, what do you do? So he got fired. So he came at the tree place, and it was hilarious. We didn't know this story until guess whose tree we ended up cutting. You'll never guess.
I would never guess.
The chief of police for Greenville, who was the man who fired him.
And Ryan was with you guys.
He was, yeah, because him and I were training together. We were training together. So everywhere, like basically.
So the chief told you
basically
guys
we were, yeah, because he came out and he was like, "Ryan?" He goes, "Yeah." He was like, "Is that you?" And he looks, he goes, "No." And I'm like, "You just stitched yourself out." I'm like, and he told us, because he told us he used to be a cop, but he said he didn't like it anymore. He just told us he didn't like it. He left. So I was like, all right, cool. But matter of fact, I want to see if I can bring it up. No, I should be able to. Nah, hold on. I'm about to.
You can share from your end.
Yeah, I'm about to. I don't care. If he gets mad, he gets mad. I don't care. He's not.
Hey, you only go
Arkansas on the 30. Arkansas on the 30. Looking to score. They're in field goal range. Now they're at the 20.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, 3:45 left in regulation. It's 23-21. If they score the field goal, God, can A&M come back? Because you got to imagine right now in 2nd and 5, A&M has 2 timeouts. Arkansas's got 3. If you're A&M, do you start calling timeouts here, or do you run clock? I think I'm calling timeouts just to preserve clock.
You're going to have to start calling timeouts here before too long. But hell, they're getting close to scoring a touchdown, dude.
What happened? What I missed?
Yeah. So Arkansas hikes the ball in a shotgun formation. The ball gets out of the quarterback's hand. The ball's loose. A&M is dropping on it. They're dropping on it. But unfortunately for A&M, Arkansas comes up with it. But they're about 5 to 6 yards deeper than where the original line of scrimmage was. But man, talk about Chris, talk about a missed opportunity, huh?
Oh,
Jeez.
yeah.
God. So now it's 3rd and 14.
Yeah, Texas A&M should have had that ball. They had 3 guys around it.
you see what I'm saying? Like, talk about a wasted opportunity, man. Like it's there. How do you not get it?
They need to stop. They got to stop them on the 3rd down. Oh,
What's y'all's thoughts on Joe Joyce versus Joseph Parker? That might be a boxing question or a pride question or a Gonzo question.
Joe Joyce and Joseph Parker. I'm not.
You got to clarify that, Damien, because you know how you are.
He goes on to say, speaking of firing people, what's y'all's thoughts on CM Punk buyout?
Oh my God! Honestly, I saw it coming.
Yeah,
Punk don't want to be there anymore.
No, that's why he done what he done. He wanted out.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be there anymore. I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to be there either. They're all children. I'm not even joking.
It's I hate to say it, but it's starting to turn into the old WCW toward the end.
That's honestly really the vibe that I'm starting to get from them, and it's sad. It really is extremely, utterly sad because at the end of the day, this was a company that had potential. Like, and to be honest, why is anyone shocked? Remember why Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks left New Japan? The difference was because in New Japan they couldn't get what they wanted. That's just the reality of what happened. They couldn't get what they wanted in New Japan. That's why they took their ball and left. That's why it took them so long to work with New Japan, because they thought, oh yeah, if I cry about it, everyone will agree with us. And then everyone's like,
just
shut
out of
up.
curiosity, I guess I probably know the answer, but I'm going to ask anyway, just from somebody who doesn't watch as much wrestling as you do. But, with Vince McMahon and all the stuff that came out about him, of course, then he left the company. Is that a blessing in disguise for WWE now, so that Triple H could take over and then take WWE in a different direction?
Yes. 110%. It's a situation. It's a situation where, unfortunately, Vince being around was just ruining the product. Unfortunately,
especially with the health, all the health stuff that came out about his memory and stuff. He needed to be out there, and Triple H taking over is a big blessing, I think. Because
I think you get a younger aspect on it, and then you get it from like you said, you get it from wrestler's perspective.
And people forget Triple H played a big part in saving and helping save the WWE in the Attitude Era.
Right.
That's what I was. I think from a wrestler standpoint,
were the ones that convinced Vince to let the guys be themselves and start doing some more of that edgier stuff. So I mean, he has a great mind for the business, and to me, it's I hate to say it because I mean, whether you like Vince or not, you have to respect what he done for the wrestling business as a whole. But it was time for him to go, and Triple H, I think he's going to take that company to a whole nother level. You're already starting to see some good stuff starting to come out of there. I'll tell you what,
my question is,
hey, Pride, what
my
you think
question is, I wonder.
Sami Zayn is killing me, dude. Sami Zayn,
bro, I thought Roman was gonna beat the bricks off him, and he gave him the shirt. And Jay, like I think it's Jimmy. Jimmy was mad in the background, like mad and everything. Yeah. And then he goes to the best part was him going to Jay, him doing the thing when he goes like that. When me seeing that, and then Solo he goes and hugs Solo Sikoa, then he hugs Roman, and I'm like,
I'm getting me one of these shirts, dude. I'm getting me one of the honorary shirts.
And I'll be honest with you, I don't care what anyone says. Without a shadow of a doubt, if it wasn't for Sami Zayn, the Bloodline would be the most boring thing in wrestling. Sami Zayn is carrying them. and it is. I love it. By the way, I'm still looking for the video. Do not bail on me, people. I am still.
Hey, real quick. So
looking for the video, real quick. Don't forget next Saturday, I'll be streaming live pro wrestling. Hardcore legend, WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley will be there. WWE legend, the Boogeyman. Hollywood Haley J off of AEW Dark will be there. Ari Alexander, that's been on AEW Dark and OVW, will be there. Should be a great show. Tune in next Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern on the ASAP Sports Network and the Gonzo Sports Room channels.
Hell yeah. I told you that's going to be a good one. I can't imagine.
And if you're a wrestling
fan, find out that one.
And if you're a wrestling fan, we're streaming the show tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, live from Danville, Indiana. Should be an awesome show. It's their 1 year anniversary. It has a stacked card of independent guys. They don't have no former like names on it like that, but it should be a great card. That's at 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. I know it's on Sunday, so most people be watching football, but next Saturday, Mick Foley, and there might be some surprises, so you want to tune in.
I think I definitely would catch that one with Mick Foley for sure. So I've always liked Mick Foley. I think he's old school, but I love him, man.
Dude, he's been one of my favorites. I'm so excited about meeting him because he's one of my favorites of all time. I grew up watching Cactus Jack, and then it was Mankind, and then Dude Love.
Yeah, I mean he had quite a few characters. You know what I mean? So right now it looks like A&M should win this. Arkansas kicked the field goal. It doinked off the field goal, came back. So it's still 23-21 A&M ball with just a little over a minute and a half left in the game. Brian, how far do you think they should go up? If they beat number 10, they should go up at least what? If they're from 23 to what, maybe 15, 12? Or do you think they just kind of go up a few?
Who? A&M?
So, yeah, if A&M beats number 10 Arkansas. Yeah.
I think right outside.
It looks like they're going to get the win.
I would say between 13 and 15 around there. In that
somewhere around there.
I'd say somewhere around there.
Well, they took that fall for number 6, and now if they get back to 13, hey,
I was surprised old Kent State hung around with Georgia as long as they did.
Yeah, I was too. I was expecting that to just be a dumpster fire by halftime. But Kent State obviously had different plans. I think the actual score in that game was what?
Wow! Don't tell me.
I think they lost by like 22.
That's looking.
No, yeah, it was 39-22. I mean, I'm surprised Kent State got 22 points.
Georgia was 40 and a half point favorites in that game.
And nobody has put up 22 points on Georgia this year. I mean, that's a lot of damn points to put up on that team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's crazy. What we looking at, Pride? How we looking?
Dude, I think they took it down.
Ooh, Kansas State almost just scored a touchdown, but Oklahoma was able to stop it.
Bro.
So it looks like Oklahoma.
Kansas State's kicking a field goal to take the lead 27-20 in the third quarter. 3 minutes left. 3 minutes left in the third quarter. 27-20 Kansas State over Oklahoma.
Boy, Oklahoma's really dropping the ball this week, man. There's been quite a few teams that almost literally dropped the ball. Like I said earlier, we said at the beginning of the program, Clemson, almost lost. We saw Miami get pounded by Middle Tennessee. I mean, wow, what a time to be alive, man. Dang. Ohio looked like they did pretty well. I didn't see the score.
Ooh, Ohio State?
Yeah.
They're still playing, but I think they're up pretty good.
And Texas, like we said earlier, Texas lost to Texas Tech. freaking Oregon took the lead on USC 7-0, 13-18. It's only in the second, so a lot of time. But
that's Oregon State, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's interesting to see them strike first. Yeah, Ohio State is 45-7. They're just killing Wisconsin. Like Wisconsin didn't even get off the school bus to even play that game.
Did Oregon end up winning the day? They were getting beat early in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they beat Washington State by 3, 44-41.
And when I left,
Michigan almost got beat too. Yeah. Number 4 Michigan almost lost to Maryland.
Yeah, they got
that one by like a. Yeah, that was pretty crazy, wasn't it? I really thought Maryland might be able to, pull it out. But.
Oh wait, hold on.
To his brother, is the quarterback from Maryland.
I found him. I found him. I found him. Piece of shit.
They've been looking for that Easter egg all night.
I'm about to show you his face. I'm gonna show you his mugshot. Piece of shit. Look at him. Look at him. Piece of shit. Fucking bitch boy. Bitch boy. Look at him. Look at the little pussy. Look at him. Look at this dude. You can tell he's a virgin. Look at this dude. This is a piece of shit. This is a piece of shit right here. That piece of shit. Nah, put it back up. Put it back up.
Oh, I thought I did. I'm sorry.
Look at him. Look at this dude.
Oh,
don't hurt me. That was him. Ryan Gibson is his name. And this is the dude. This was him. This was him. So it turns out that this guy is another guy that he did it with too. So they did an investigation. They found this guy.
So did he get any other trouble besides just losing his job over this?
Hold on. This is how he looks like. You tell me. No, they just fired the motherfucker. They just fired him. They fired him, and then the dude ended up suing the city.
I need his lawyer, and then I also need dude's lawyer. If you can get away with assault and battery for $100, and then for
this is what the sheriff said. And it wasn't even him whose house that we went to, but this is hilarious. While the incident was extremely unfortunate, I'm very grateful for Miss Fant and her activism by bringing this incident to our attention and communicating the proper methods for filing a grievance against a Greenville County Sheriff Officer employee. That's not even the guy's house that we went over to. We went over the Chiefs, and when we were cutting I was cutting the branches. He kind of was just like chilling there, and then like the cop was like, Ryan? He was like, yeah, and he's looking at him and goes, Ryan, is that you? He goes, no. Looks away. I'm like, what the fuck? So he runs to so we basically cut trees. So we did. So we had a chipper and we had a big truck where all the chippers go to.
Yeah.
He ran to the truck and hid there. I thought that shit was weird. I was like, the fuck? So like the guy who was up in the tree goes, where's he going? I was like, ask him. The fuck? Why? Because we had helmets and the helmets had radios. Yeah. So he asked me, I'm like, he's on the line. Ask him. He took off his helmet. Like he didn't want to be bothered. And like turns out it was wild because there was a dude that he basically beat the shit out of and told.
So who told you guys the story? Did the
chief did, yes. The chief did because
after he went to the truck.
So wow. No, so I'm gonna tell you. So what ended up happening was after he went, the cop just went back in his house. Like the captain already, he just went back in his house. So I'm like, the fuck? So I'm talking to the guys up there. It's like, I thought my first instinct was, all right, he went out with his daughter. And they just broke up and it was awkward or whatever. And then the chief comes, the captain comes back out and he's just standing next to me. And I'm like, what's up, G? What's cracking? And he goes, it's crazy, huh? I'm like, sure. He was like, you don't know, do you? I'm like, dog, I don't even know my own name half the time. What are you going on about? And he just shook his head and walked away. So then the curiosity started getting the better of me, the better of me, the better of me, the better of me. So when they went to lunch, I was like, I'll stay here. And I knocked on his door. And I was like, how do you know Ryan? He was like, I don't think I should tell you. I was like, okay. How do you know Ryan? And I kept bothering him. Swear to God. I told him I refuse to leave. I was like, I swear to God, when they're all done, I will stay here until you tell me. And he was like, okay. And then he opened up and he told everything. He basically just opened up. He was like, yeah. He was like, there have been multiple reports on him. And basically he would turn off his body cam.
So when they came back from lunch, did you tell everybody that, or did you wait till the end of the day?
Oh no, I told them, and then when I went, I told the boss. I was like, I don't want him near me. I was like, I don't fuck with him. The next day, and I told him, I was like, if you put him next to me, understand, I'm just gonna find out. I'm a cornball, right? If I don't like you, I'll find any excuse to hit you because I'm corny like that. I'm immature, right? You feel me? Like I'm a child, right? So I told them I will find a reason to smack him. I want you to understand that. And they were like, you'll be fine. I was like, all right, you got it. Next day they put me with him. I was like, all right, cool. And then he started going on about something. I don't even know how. They started talking politics. And I personally don't talk politics because I'm like, it doesn't even matter, you know? So they started talking. And then he said something real dumb that just made me laugh. It was something along the lines of, if you're a cop, you deserve to have all the power you get and then some and more. And I started laughing because when I heard that, I'm like, I looked at her, I was like, you forgot we talked to your boss yesterday, right, my G? Like, dog, well, you're here because you got fired, bro. And he was like, oh. I was like, you said, oh? He's like, oh. I was like, we go step out the car. So we stepped out the car and I punched him. And I got fired. I punched him. Yeah, I didn't care. I punched him. And it's kind of funny because, like, after it happened, I kept doing my job. I didn't even care. He was, like, in the car crying. Literally crying. And mind you, he's a big dude. Matter of fact, let me pull up the video again because I want to show you.
He looked like a good size. He looked like a good sized guy.
Yeah, he looked like a decent sized guy.
No. He's not a decent sized guy. He's a big dude. He's a big dude. So let me show you. That's him.
Oh, okay.
That's him.
So what is he? Probably about 6 foot, 200
He's
pounds?
6'3", 220.
Okay, yeah.
But man, I've never seen a bigger bitch before in my life.
And that means to me that he's going to look about, since I'm fucking 5'5" and 130, he's going to look about 6'5" and 300, but I still knock his ass out.
100% because he's a bitch. Because once I hit him, he was like, I'm like, well, I thought we were gonna fight. What the hell? And I was him. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. And then like the next day they went in. I went in and they were like, yeah, we gotta talk to you. I was like, oh fuck. And they were like, yeah, so it's been brought to our attention that you're very hard to work with, and a lot of people they're not comfortable around you. I was like, give a fuck. I don't care. They were like, we're gonna have to let you go. I was like, let yourself go, bitch. And I just walked out. And they were like, oh yeah, we need our shirts back. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Brought him back the next day. He goes, I hope everything works well for you. I was like, okay, bye. I just walked out. I was like, I'm gonna to this day, I don't regret it at all. I don't regret it at all. Yeah, true story. Yeah, Ryan Gibson. I remember. I will never forget I will never forget him. To be honest, I will never in my life forget him because I've never in my life just met a bigger bitch.
I have a story, something like that, but I can't tell it on air.
Yeah. Put that in the chat then. Put that in the chat. But yeah,
what a time to be alive. All right, folks. We have gotten to the end of the show, man. Hey, we'll be back on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. You can catch Gonzo on the afternoon show at 1 o'clock Eastern on ASAP. I won't be back because I got an appointment, but I will be back on his show Tuesday morning or Tuesday afternoon at 1. I'll be back Tuesday. Pride. What else are you doing? Are you on the morning show? I haven't been checking the morning show at all lately, man.
Already hasn't been on much here lately other than Unscripted.
Yeah, no. It's just I'm because now I'm working. Yeah, bro. Like I have to be at the place by 7. Like this week, it's a little easier, so I'll probably be on the morning show a little more this week. But like for like the training and stuff like that, nah, dog.
Hey,
like,
if you're free, if you get where you're free at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you're more than welcome. Jump on the afternoon show with us.
I might end up doing that because I might have a little bit of a gap depending on how the route goes. So.
Hey,
Yeah.
Pride, you will be on Unscripted come Tuesday. You understand me? Just go ahead and lock it in your calendar. Lock it in, write it in, whatever it is, you typically do. Just put it in Tuesday. You're gonna be here Tuesday.
While you're driving that damn bus.
That's it. He's like, I don't care if it'll cost you your job. I don't care how many kids are there. You will be here. Do you understand?
You will be here Tuesday at 7. If you were driving kids around in a school bus at 7 o'clock in the evening, you got bigger problems than that.
Well, it depends. Depends too, because sometimes they have like overnight stuff, like overnight trips. And I kind of like those because like you're only driving for like an hour, maybe 2 hours at most, and you get paid for 8. So
that's nice.
Oh yeah, and then on top of that, if you do field trips, bro, they feed you.
So like a regular day, you'll drive in the morning and you get to go home and have a break and come back.
So what they do is so I have 2 routes. I have like a morning route and an afternoon route. And then I basically go to the bus center to get the bus and whatnot. If I feel like working extra, I can stay at the bus center. And then if they have like a field trip or something, I can take that.
Okay.
But like I don't. Like,
I will tell you this. All I know is every time I think of Pride and a bus, Chris Farley from SNL comes to mind. And I just remember those bus skits that had Chris Farley in it. And I just can imagine Pride doing that to the verbatim. I'm just saying.
Or Chris Farley from Billy Madison.
He does all of it. All of it. He was all of it as well. All of it. Chris Farley was the man. Remember him when he was a lunch lady? Sloppy Joe's. Who wants some sloppy Joe? I'm just saying. I could just see Pride with some sloppy Joe.
How much we missed out on though with Chris Farley.
Chris Farley and Pride. What a magical combination. All right, final thoughts. We get out of here. Gonzo, you will be on Tuesday as well as Pride, so I'm just locking y'all in. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
I'll be on Tuesday.
Hey, Gonzo, final thoughts before we get out. Oh, by the way, A&M did secure and Arkansas did lose. Way to go.
Looks like you're gonna have a good fourth quarter here. Kansas State and Oklahoma. Kansas State up by 7. Start of the fourth quarter. Oklahoma just getting the ball. So should be a good fourth quarter.
Turn that game on next. Gonzo, final thoughts, brother.
Hey, join us. Well, tomorrow probably a lot of people will be watching football. If you're not watching football, join us for wrestling at 3 in the afternoon. And join us Monday. Monday, I'll start all my shows back up. Last week I was sick, so I didn't do much except lay in bed and sleep. But Monday we'll start all the shows back up. So join us Monday, like Jay said, 1 p.m. for the afternoon blitz. And then we'll have a Easy Money, a sports betting show at 3 on Monday. And also we're going to have, this is for Greg Broderick. He probably ain't watching now because he's at work. But also Monday we're going to have horseshoe talk. And we're going to talk about the Colts upsetting the Chiefs tomorrow. That's my final thought.
Wow. That's funny, Pride. Hey, we got some deja vu on that one, don't we, Pride? Holy cow. Holy cow. By the way, Logan picked the Falcons to win. So everybody is now fully in for the week. We'll see how that plays out.
Who did I take? Oh, I took the Lions.
You got the Lions over the Vikings. Pride, final thoughts, my brother.
What a time to be alive. What a time indeed. Free Ime. My guy was just trying to get some cheeks, bro. That's it. So free Ime.
That's it. Just a little bit.
Let me see. What else do I have to say? Banner 18 coming soon for the Boston Celtics. The Yankees are trash. Fuck Aaron Judge. And let me just say this. If we do not bring back Rafael Devers and Xander Bogaerts, if we don't, Bloom, you have some answers to it. You got some. I need answers because we got rid of Mookie Betts to pay Bogarts, and now we refuse to do that.
Red Sox are going to start being like they're going to start being like the Cincinnati Reds, get rid of all their players.
What are we going to do with Tristan when it's his time? Fuck me.
Yeah, it's not a good time to be in the Boston Celtics family. It's rough out there, but all right, you'll be fine. Hey, real quick, Pride, man. What a time, man. Hey, so Pride is currently number 1. Oh, by the way, Kansas is up 27-20 still, and 12-41 in the 4th. Pride, holy crap, man! You are first place in the fantasy league, and you were drafted damn near at the bottom. How amazing are you?
And if you think that's amazing, bro, last week, can I go back to last week? Nah, because seriously, I need you guys to understand. Yes, okay. So last week, I won 135.02 points to 134.16 points. It was mad close. Ready?
That is
Alvin
gross.
Kamara. Hold on. Alvin Kamara gave me 0 points, and Hunter Henry gave me 0 points.
No.
I had 2 positions give me donuts. Shout out to Lamar Jackson and Jalen Waddle, because them boys carried me to the moon. Both dropping a cool 40 for no reason.
I done the same thing. I got a comeback win last week. The week before Pride kicked my ass, but last week I got a comeback win.
So I had
and just so y'all know how hard it is in this league. There's 20 damn teams. So it's not like you got like all these, top-notch players. So
yeah, there's not a lot of options.
I think Pride was drafted around 17 or 18, somewhere in that area, right?
I was last.
Okay, so Pride drafted at 20. Now Pride did get a little lucky.
I think
at least he got the back. He had the last pick, but the first pick. So, but again, if you're drafted at 20, I mean that's hard to do, to be at number 1. At number 1, it's hard to do. So, hats off to Pride. Hats off to Gonzo. I think Gonzo drafted 9th, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it 9th? Yeah, because what were you, 12th?
I drafted 8th, so I think you drafted 9th.
Yeah, I drafted right after you, because every other round you kept pissing me off because you kept taking the player I was going to take.
I don't know. I think you're doing better than me. I'm 0-2. I think you're what, 1-1?
Yeah, I'm 1-1.
So you're doing better than me. And Pride, the lucky son of a gun that he is 2-0. What a time to be alive.
I'm 1-1, and I'm in 4 different fantasy leagues, and I'm 1-1 in all of them.
You're just a 1-1 kind of guy.
Hey, but the good thing is, in our family league, I beat my son last week. So, hey, that's always good.
Hey,
then I can talk shit.
As long as Pops has the win, we're good. We're good.
But the bad thing is, my dad beat me the first week.
Damn. Well, hey, Grandpa's got to get it all. So it is what it is. Hey, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Gonzo, I know you had your concert. Thanks for making the end part of the show. I appreciate you.
Hey, I saw you guys was on, so I was like, I'm going to jump on real quick. I was getting ready to start tearing it. I have to pack everything up for tomorrow, but I was like, I'll jump on before I start tearing everything down.
Let me tell you how life works on this show. If me and Logan are on, it's an hour show. Me and Logan and Frankie on, it's about 1 hour and 16. Me, Logan, and Gonzo in, probably about 1 hour and 16. And me and Pride are on, it's 2 hours and 44 minutes. So do with that information as you will.
Hey, when Logan's not on, there's no timer.
Yeah. I actually did the timer just to see if we can stick to it. And at some point, I was just like, with Pride, it's just never gonna happen.
We were leaving.
And I don't care.
We were leaving the
Pride, and Pride has lots of good stories. So I just let me tell you how it really works. When Logan's not here, I can do whatever. I can let Pride, go down whatever rabbit hole he feels like it. When Logan is here, I get private text, Jay, get a hold of Pride. He's like 2 hours into one topic. We got to keep rolling. So, that's how it goes in the world of Unscripted. And if Frankie's on here, that's a whole other world.
Dude, we were leaving the concert. My dad goes, I said that, yeah, it was just Jay and Pride. When I looked earlier, and he goes, "Oh, they're probably still on." So we was on the car the way home. I got on. You guys were on. That's what I commented.
Hey, listen, hey, you know what? You know the quote, "If you know, you know."
Yes, sir.
It's just fitting. It's fitting. And I'll tell you, when me and Pride are on this show, because Gonzo, he's very conservative most of the part. I kind of could predict Gonzo. When me and Pride are on the show, you just don't know what you're gonna get until the end of the show is over, and then you look back and you're like, wow. It's just what a time to be alive.
What a time
Again, if me and Pride are on the show, you probably have to go from PG to somewhere between R and X. If me and Gonzo are on the show, you probably keep it mostly PG. If Logan and me are on the show, it's just straight Disney Plus. So
yes, sir.
Disney Plus.
You just kind of get what you get. You never know. And that's what I love about Unscripted. You just don't know what version you're gonna get. And that's what makes it awesome. All right, folks. 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Tuesday. Again, catch Gonzo at 1 o'clock on Monday. And until next time, we are out of here. Y'all be good.